Hail and well met. Welcome to the second episode of the Westgate Irregulars campaign, brought to you by the Dungeon Scrawlers, this somewhat diminished group that I have with me today. As we have noted, the snow is very intense here in Seattle, and a couple of us could not make it. But the group is currently split up, going about their investigations separately, so it just makes logical sense. You'll learn more about Artemisia and Tsetseliya at a later date, but for now, we're going to focus on these four. I am Eric Scott DeBee, your DM for the evening and for the rest of the campaign. And this is the Dungeon Scrawlers, as I said, and this is the Westgate Irregulars campaign. And I am going to toss it over to Yang Wang to tell us about our illustrious sponsor, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms.
Hey, how's it going? So, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from the novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida from the Brimstone Angels novels from our very own Aaron M. Evans. The game is available for PC and Mac, and it's on Steam and the web, if you heard of the web. It's also available on Xbox One, PS4, iPad, iPhone, and all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com. If you've never played an Idle game, it is one of the best.
And watch the chat, because there will be a code for a gold chest or something of that nature coming up soon.
Yeah, you just type in ! We love codename. All one word.
All right. And for episode 2, we're introducing a new cool element of our campaign, and that is Rogar's recap. So, Rogar, the most responsible member of the Westgate Irregulars, is going to share with us in brief, or maybe not in brief, about what happened in their previous adventure. Take it away, Rogar.
Aye, thank you. So, as you know, I'm a dwarf, and clan and family are very important to a dwarf, and unfortunately, I don't know who my clan and family are. I'm an orphan. So, I've been thinking that if I connect with my skills, you know, if I can find what I'm really good at, that might give me a clue as to like what I've inherited from my clan. Am I from a stonesmithing clan, or a jeweler clan, or an artisan clan?
The scribe looks up at Rogar saying, "You were gonna tell me about your adventures?"
Aye, I'm getting to that. So I've done some art, and I want your opinion on my art. I think I might be from an artisan clan.
Uh-oh.
So, and as I'm showing my art, I'll tell you what happened, just to make sure I understand what you all told me happened last night. So.
The scribe is trepidatious.
So, we have Artemisia. Artemisia was in her little shop that she runs for Ilira Nathalin, who has been gone from Westgate for some time now. She's a very powerful and mysterious lady who some of us like and some of us don't. Anyway, Artemisia is running her shop because she's very fashionable when in pops Ch02. Hello! And Ch says, you need to go meet Ilira at midnight because she's back in the city, and I told her what a great job you're doing. And she said, oh, thank you very much. So she gets a carriage, and she goes to gather the party and go to meet Ilira. Meanwhile, Kayleth, Kayleth is in her horse's stable, sleeping there because she's kind of avoiding Artemisia because she owes her some rent. Anyway, she's there, and who pops in? Ch02. Oh, hello! You need to go meet Ilira at midnight. And I really like your boyfriend. He's looks kind of half dead, and I think that's cool. So then we meet.
She looks a bit sinister here.
There's a lot of puppets back here.
We meet Stong McGuck. Aye, what do you think? Very stunning likeness, aye? So,
yeah, very
we
good.
meet Stong, and Stong is a half-orc bard, and he has very low charisma, but amazingly rolls very high every time he tries to seduce or perform. Anyway,
Real life luck skills.
Stong is singing a song which has now swept across Westgate, the Jiggle Jiggle Bounce song, which if you watch episode 1, you'll greatly enjoy. And in the audience is Rogar Battleburn, that's me. He's a dwarf cleric, and he's returned to Westgate after being away for a while. So he's come back, and he's like, oh yeah, song, great song. And then across the street at their apartment where Stong and Stirge live is Stirge. also known as Crab and Glear. He's an arcane trickster. And Stirge is helping the lady who runs an orphanage in their apartment upstairs. Illegally, that he secretly funds so as not to ruin his reputation as a very sinister person. Anyway, and the lady's attacked by a dark, mysterious, cloaked figure. Now, I didn't have time to make art for everything, so I went to the bookstore that Kayleth recommended, and I got this little book. And so it's a dark, mysterious, cloaked figure that attacks the lady. And then they get in a fight. Ooh, ah. And he runs up the side of the building, and Stirge chases him up the side of the building, which Rogar and Stong see, and they go running across the street and chasing him up the side of the building. And there's lightning flashing, and it's dark, and it's all very dramatic. Oh, sorry. And then they're having this great battle. Artemisia and Kayleth arrive, and they blow in the door, and they run upstairs, and they're all on the roof, and the guy's gone. This person's just disappeared. And but there's a great swirling mist on the rooftop, and out of the mist steps Tsetseliya. Tsetseliya is a witch, and definitely not a warlock.
Definitely not a warlock.
Definitely not pacted with an archfey.
Definitely not pacted with an archfey.
He's been working for these past months and has been gone from Westgate, but now has returned.
They're just good friends.
Everyone rejoices. Yay, yay, yay. And then they all go to the aforementioned meeting with Ilira. Wait, I almost forget. A wolf steps out of the portal as well, silver white wolf, which was pretty cool. And then so they go and meet Ilira, who also known as Fox at Twilight. And Ilira tells them that she is being accused of these murders by this mysterious cloaked figure, because it so happens that the murderer's method of killing is a kiss of death. He has a necrotic damage when he kisses people, or she kisses people. We don't know. And she reveals, danger! When she touches things, they die. So Ilira hires our crew to go and investigate this murder and find out who is this mysterious figure who's killing everybody. And we were like, okay, we'll do it. And that is what happened last night, at least as I remember it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and what do you think of my art? Be honest now. Am I an artist?
Oh, I think you definitely got some artisan in you.
At what point in the adventure did someone strap a dead cat to Stong?
Oh, right, that's his Dr. Millerbell, and I thought I caught her quite nicely.
It really captures her essence.
I think so. Thank you, Kayleth. So anyway, well, good. Then I'll continue to pursue my art. I feel pretty darn good about it. Anyway, and so now, and obviously having listened to me for 10 minutes now, I have inspired you as an inspiring leader, and you get 7 extra hit points temporarily.
Excellent.
Is that right?
Aye.
How did that happen?
Mechanics.
It's part of my brilliance, I guess.
Oh, maybe
so
that's
thank you for your time and attention. This means a lot to me.
Thank you, Rogar.
Thank you.
Oh,
well done, sir.
Thank you.
I hope you find your parents one day.
And on that note, the day dawns cold and stark in Westgate. Snow has fallen overnight. Snow in Westgate. The city is not accustomed to snowfall, and as it is a kleptocratic nightmare, public utilities are not great or reliable in Westgate. And so the city largely shuts down during even the smallest amount of snowfall.
Doesn't sound familiar at all.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound familiar at
Eric's
all. No.
not talking about Westgate, and he might be talking about Seattle.
So, the streets are largely abandoned. You see out the windows of the Purple Lady, which is where I assume you all met up. Mm-hmm. Most of the patrons have gone home for the day. They will be back to party that night. And they have given you some simmer stew for breakfast, poured you some weak ale, that sort of thing. Tea, if you would like tea. And they expect you to get on with your assignment whenever you like.
Ilira owns the Purple Lady, aye.
She does.
Aye. A house of ill partying.
A house of love.
A house of love, aye.
Stirge actually lives there most of the time.
Yes, Stirge has a room there at the Purple Lady. Okay, so we're actually going to start with Kayleth's story. Because after that recitation, Kayleth was feeling a little weary. She doesn't sleep because she's an elf. Elves trance, not sleep. But she opens her eyes again and finds herself in the cold stable where Dumpling lives and sleeps. And the horse has nuzzled your face, and that's why you woke up.
Just to be clear, it's only cold around the feet and the ankles. Dumpling keeps it warm most of the time.
That's right.
She's a very warm dumpling.
You cuddle up with Dumpling, and it is an excellent way to pass the evening. But it is daylight now.
Introduction?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Emily Tang, writer and game designer at Wizards of the Coast. Disclaimer, all thoughts and opinions expressed in this stream are my own and do not represent Wizards of the Coast. There. And...
Important note.
Yes. And on that note...
So, Dumpling has nudged you awake, and you see that the horse obviously wants something from you.
What is it? Do you want another sugar cube? I have no more sugar cubes.
Dumpling nudges at your pockets, because women's clothes in the realms have pockets. Make a note of that, it's canonical. And is disappointed to find no food. But Dumplings is she,
Yes.
nudges the pocket in which you were keeping the book that Tsetseliya gave you the previous evening.
Oh, yes, the weird Fae book. All right, take
A
it
book
out.
of dark magic of some
Forgot we
kind.
got gifts.
Oh, that's
Is
right.
there anything funny going on with it?
It's just a book.
It's just a book.
What does the cover of the book look like?
It's dark leather from some sort of animal that you don't know.
That I don't know?
Yeah, you don't immediately recognize what it is. It doesn't look like common sorts of leather that you would encounter.
Perhaps Bogglewomp leather.
Could be.
Oh, could be.
Could be.
It's proof they're real.
You open the book.
Open the book, look through it.
All right, I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you are able to page through the book and resist the urge to just sit there all day and read the book.
It's a very light summer read.
Yes, it is indeed a collection of Fae magic, but it is encoded. And you think it would take you some time to unravel the code.
Sounds fascinating.
And then your stomach growls,
Oh, that's less fascinating.
and you hear a knock at the door of the stable.
Artemisia?
The rent collector.
Yeah.
It's just me. It's Shay Darksong again.
Oh, come in. Welcome to my humble abode.
Yes, she comes in. She says, I'm pretty sure it's your horse's humble abode.
We're roommates.
Right. Would you like to do something about that? She holds up a big bag of coins that
Okay,
jingles.
yeah.
She says, oh, perfect. The lady has seen fit to give this to me, to give to you, and she considers this to be a down payment on your search.
Just to be clear, is this just for me, or is it to be divided among all of us?
Well, that depends.
On if they know about it?
Well, yes, it depends on if they know about it, and it depends on whether you are willing to do additional services for the lady.
She looks angelic, but she's so shady.
Very shady.
Just to be clear, you don't know this is happening.
Yeah.
Right.
As far as you know, we haven't.
Right. These are
gotten
strictly
No, yeah, we don't-
metagaming comments.
That was out of game, yes. Out of voice.
What are these additional tasks?
To be specified later.
Sure, sounds good.
That was easy. She gives you the purse of coin. And she says, you can probably pay off at least some of your debt to Artemisia with this, or you can find yourself your own place. If you wish to stay at the Purple Lady, we can arrange that as well.
That is a very kind offer. I will consider it
Yes.
once I pay off all my debts.
Shay obviously looks tired and like she has kind of bags under her eyes, and you realize that it is morning and it's overcast, so there's no like the sun isn't beating down or anything, but Shay is very much a night person.
Under her red eyes.
Yes.
Bright red eyes.
Right.
Do you want to take a nap before you head off?
She says, oh, absolutely, but I would never want to bother Dumpling.
Oh, Dumpling won't mind, will you?
The horse looks at you dubiously.
Fine, maybe Dumpling won't mind.
All right, you look back and Shay is gone, leaving you with the bag of coin.
Thanks for the money. How much is it?
A large amount. How much do you owe Artemisia?
That's a good question. It was what, like 4, 5, 6 months late?
It is 300 gold pieces,
Cool.
which is enough to pay off your back rent.
Okay. If I split it or if I don't?
You have to spend most of it to pay off your back rent. Also, there's a note that says, remember, you did agree to go start looking for the murderer.
That is true.
Heart Shay.
I guess what Kayleth will do next is stick this in her bag, take the bag with her,
Yes.
and go head out in search of the rest of the party.
Feel like she's made that mistake before. All right. So the rest of the party, Artemisia and Tsetseliya had retired to Briar House, their house that they rent in the southern part of Westgate,
To do sister things.
to reconnect and spend time together because they haven't seen each other in a long time, and they are sisters. So the four of you have kind of decided to meet back up at Briar House and launch your investigation from there. So I will say that you all arrive there in the snow. How are you prepared for the snow? And we'll start with Stirge. Introduce yourself and then tell us about your preparations for the snow.
Okay. Hi, I'm Stephen Merlino. I'm the writer of the Jack of Souls and the Jack of Ruin fantasy books. I play Stirge, who is a human arcane trickster, and Stirge is bundled up in his giant feather cloak, crow feathers. He kind of looks like a big crow. Gangly, lanky, long-legged, long nose.
Going for the big bird look. Got it.
Yeah.
Evil
Big Bird played doctor.
Big
Hashtag
Bird's
evil
evil,
Big Bird.
brother.
Yeah.
And he's got his gaiters over his boots, and he's just stalking through the streets towards Briar House.
Scaring small children as you go.
No, he gives
Yes.
them
Small children go running.
he gives them copper pieces.
Yeah,
and
their parents pull them away. They're like, no, stay away from that man. Man, person, bird.
that's what he does.
Okay. So you arrive at Briar House and you find Kayleth waiting there.
Kayleth, on the doorstep.
Yeah, she's standing near the doorstep.
Are you lurking, by any chance, because you're nervous about seeing Artemisia?
Actually, no, because check this out.
Well,
It's, just to be clear, it's for all of us, and I didn't have an existential crisis determining whether I should keep it all for myself or not.
of course you didn't.
But look, we have money now.
Very good. Shall we knock on the door? I'll go ahead.
All right. So as you go up to knock on the door just opens before you can knock on it, and you see Varys. Varys is the elderly dwarf head servant of Briar House. And he peers out at you. He has this long gray beard. He's obviously at least a century, 2 centuries old. And he looks up at you and he says, the lady is indisposed this morn.
I see.
Which lady? Both?
Propriety would prompt me to refer to Tsetseliya as a lady as well. So yes, both.
May we use the waiting room? We're expecting Rogar and Stong.
I am afraid I cannot admit you.
I technically still live here.
Rent? He puts out his hand. Okay, you put some of the gold in it. His hand lowers a little bit. He looks at you again. All right, a lot of the gold from that purse goes away. Say 200 of the 300 gold pieces goes away.
Wait, it was 300 total?
It was 300 total.
Ooh. Gonna
You're done.
take some of that back. I'm just gonna give 50. That's just my part.
I see. He slides it into his coat, and then he says, "Good day." And closes the door.
Wait.
All right. So as you're considering what to do next, Stong arrives with Mirabelle. With Mirabelle.
With Mirabelle.
Okay. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about how you have strapped Mirabelle to yourself today with the snow, and how you would bundle her up for the snow.
All right. Hi, I'm Yang Yang Wang. All right. We need a medic over here for Stephen Merlino. But, oh no. Hi, I'm Yang Yang Wang, and I am a filmmaker and a writer, and I play Stong MacGuck, who is a half-orc bard who's infamous in the realms. His greatest strength is his strength, as his friends can attest to. And on this fine day, he's come over to visit his friend with Mirabelle strapped on his chest through like a series of like soft leather straps, about 6 in total, wound. It's like interwoven to form like a little sling. And around that, he's wrapped the fur of a bear that he purchased in the marketplace.
Did you purchase the bear, or did you purchase the skin?
Oh, the skin. I think he would not turn a bear into a... He would be uncomfortable with turning a bear into a fur.
It is Westgate. Bears could be
Westgate.
purchased in the marketplace if there's a market for it.
I'm having trouble picturing this bear. Do you have an example you could show?
Not in the room.
You know,
Maybe at break.
maybe after the break, we'll see. But yeah, so both Mirabelle and Stong are completely warm and cozy because he hired a carriage to bring them over. And you happen to see behind him that carriage. And the door is open, and there's a sword stuck into the floor of the carriage. And the driver is pretty angry because Stong had used a heat metal spell on that sword to create like a makeshift heat lamp.
Like Star Trek.
Yeah.
Is the sword partly melted and stuck into the floor, and now you can't remove it?
Yes. Free sword for him, though.
All right.
And I tell him to keep that tip.
The carriage driver nods curtly and then immediately steers the carriage away. But it's a carriage and it doesn't turn very well, so he has to go back and forth across the snowy cobbled street.
Yeah, I just waved to him the whole time.
20-point turn.
See you later.
And then he just thunders away down the road, heedless of the danger because it's wet and snowy.
So, you know, now that I'm here, I've knocked on the door and, you know, it's open.
Yes, Varys opens the door. Yes.
Hey,
Hello.
are my best friends in?
They are, but they're indisposed.
Ew. Like, too indisposed for best friend time?
I am not at liberty to say what they are doing.
Well, can I could just go into the kitchen and have myself
I
a
am
snack in the meantime.
under instructions not to admit you. Good day.
I'm going to try to intimidate him
Oh, okay.
because that is my best persuasive skill. So, okay, that's a 16.
Why are you intimidating my servants? Our servants. Their servants.
Yo, I get hangry, all right?
Varys bristles, and he shuts the door in your face.
What?
Wow.
That's what a 16 got me?
Well, an intimidation check.
Okay, fine.
All right, the door opens again a moment later, and Bo is standing there. Now, Bo is their muscly hunk of a footman
boy.
at the Briar house.
As you wish.
He is a Shao stick fighter down from the docks. He's kind of a rough and tumble guy, but a very nice fellow as well. And he looks out at Song and says, "Oh, hail, well met."
Hey, how's it going?
"Oh, great. Can't let you in, sorry."
What? Okay, I'm
Yeah,
going to try
I
to
know,
intimidate on
they're
this guy,
busy.
too.
Okay.
That's a 5.
Oh, she's so cute. He like boops Mirabelle's nose, and she goes, "Ah."
You know, it's getting cold out here. I feel like I'm going to have to burn another heat metal spell pretty soon.
He says, "Oh, I do have a note for you."
Oh?
Yes. He fishes a note out of his pocket. It's this crumpled piece of paper, and he hands it to you. Okay. It says, we're busy. It's important, but I'll get back to you soon. Tsetseliya. Mirabelle says, and Cece.
Say, oh, I mean, is Kayleth available?
Kayleth is standing next to the... Bo looks confused. He looks at Stong, he looks
Sorry.
at Kayleth, who's standing right there.
Stong looks down and he's like, oh, hey!
Bo's greatest strength is also his strength, not his intellect.
We've been standing
I thought it was
here
also
this
his
whole
six-pack, but...
We've
Eight-pack.
been standing
Eight-pack.
here this whole time.
Oh, my bad.
Meanwhile, Rogar shows up.
Hey.
Bo closes the door again.
Hey, Randy Henderson, author, and I am playing Rogar Battlebaron, dwarf cleric of Sharindlar, goddess of life. Right, so I show up and I've prepared myself because I wear mithril plate armor. And if you've ever worn plate armor in the snow, if you don't have adequate undercoverings, it's really cold against your skin. And so I've definitely padded up. Layers are important in the winter. And
So you're just kind of walking up there like...
but I'm just like that little boy in what's that, the Christmas Story
Yeah.
movie, right? So yeah, no.
A
So I
midwinter
come up-
tale, it would be called in the realms. Yeah.
Right. So I march on up, and I've got my beard, well tucked in to help keep me warm with my beautiful beard, my beautiful braided beard, and I'll just march on up. I'm a little worried about the flower that's sticking out of my helmet. It's starting to wilt a little in the cold, but otherwise I'm feeling pretty good. It's a bright morning. We survived another fight, which always seems to happen when I'm around you guys. And
It does happen.
But I'm excited to be reunited with my friends, reunited, and it feels so good.
Well, three of them are standing on the porch, looking a bit confused.
I noticed that you guys look quite the pair. Like she's got her golden wings wrapped around her for warmth, and you've all got black feathers around you. Make quite the striking pair.
Gold and black. They're very good colors together. I
Aye.
think we should be together more often.
Great. Sounds great. Can't think of anything I'd prefer.
So why are we all standing around outside?
They're not welcoming us inside. I suggest we let them do whatever it is they're doing, their sisterly business, and get on with our task of finding out this murderer.
Well, since we all are here, you all look down and you see this small gnome standing next to Rogar,
Oh, right.
carrying this big bag of equipment.
Aye. So
Now, why don't you tell us about this fellow?
This is my sidekick, Zancho Ponzai.
Hi.
Yeah, g'day, I'm Zancho Ponzai. I'm a gnome, which means I'm from down under the earth. And yeah, I'm just a blokey bloke, a tradie, like good paints and hanging out, and I'm not a rogue at all. And
Not a rogue.
not a rogue. And
Bit small, not a rogue.
but yeah, so I rescued Rogar. I rescued this wee lad from some trouble a way back, and he seems to think he owes me his life or something. So he follows me around, but it's quite convenient because he manages all my money for me, which is very kind of him.
That's right.
And
Pancho is writing in this ledger, even as he's speaking.
and frankly, Rogar has an intelligence of 9, so he kind of gets lost at the shiny things, and so having Zancho is very handy to keep him out of trouble, help him find lodging, purchase things, food and stuff, and remind him to eat when he needs to, that kind of a thing.
But
so.
Zancho easily blends into the background. People forget that he's there
Yeah.
all the time.
And always disappears whenever there's danger.
That's right.
So,
He can never be found when there's danger. If you're looking directly at him when someone attacks, he will fade away and disappear.
yeah.
It's
I
a
like
gnome
me.
thing.
I like me, mate.
Speaking of money,
Yeah.
here's your share, and here's your share, and here's your share. And I'm just gonna take Artemisia and Tsetseliya's and slide it under the door.
Well, thanks.
Yes, that was
Very
very
good.
hard for me to do.
I give mine to Zancho to manage.
Yep. He makes a note of it and then he puts it in the back.
Make sure
We
give it
have-
proper ties.
We have a list, do we not, of the victims of this kissing fellow?
Sancho says, aye. That we do. He hands you a list of names.
And how many names on it?
5.
5 names. One of which was is Lady Kiko?
No. So
5,
Lady
okay,
Kiko would
total
be
of
this would be 6.
Are there dates as to when each of these happened on there?
There are dates and locations.
So
Maybe.
these are all dead people, right?
I don't know.
They're,
Is there a little
they're
skull and crossbones next to each name?
I think she said it was
Just
a list
to
of
be
the
clear, it's all
victims.
dead
We asked
people.
for like the list of the victims so we could see if there was any sort of connection.
Right.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, maybe
records
we
of citrusy smells around them or anything like that.
I had a thought.
Aye.
It might be good if we could talk to these victims.
Oh.
How would
How?
we do that? They're dead.
Oh.
That doesn't mean they can't talk, though.
Oh, I don't like where this is going. You know, that kind of magic's it's anti-life. And
But we're being used to prevent more loss of life. I
Aye.
just listened.
You know, Stong
also-
nods his head and he goes, "You have a certain point."
Yeah,
Isn't that-
it's not necessarily evil.
we're not talking bringing them back, like, in some form, but just talking to them, right?
Yeah.
And it would not harm their spirits, aye?
Yeah.
I suppose if it's in the service of protecting life, I could get behind that.
Could you, in fact, do the...
Oh,
no. 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 I see.
Oh, who can?
Didn't
I
ken
don't
how to
know.
do
Is that something you know? Do you know anyone? Do you know anyone who could do that?
In fact, I do. One person who is, I believe, what time is it?
It is
Game time.
early in the morning, but after the first lectures have started at the university.
I believe he's currently lecturing at the university.
Oh, do you mean Aiden?
Yes.
Oh, that's your wee Bo, aye.
My friend.
I
Not
don't think
boyfriend.
I've met him yet, actually. I've heard the rumours, but...
He's perfectly lovely.
Right.
Oh, if he's dating you, I'm sure that's true.
I think we should go find him. Let's go sit in the cafe at the university, wait for the lectures to be done, and ambush him.
I'd like to
like
sneak into his
ambush
lecture
him, or
and listen to
just-
it.
Like murder him.
That could happen.
I wonder... yes, so we should also perhaps find out where this person was buried and so on. I suppose maybe he... Let's go first for Aiden.
Well, in point of fact, one of the names listed on your list, one Sheldon Sumar, is listed as having been attacked at the Mintasan College for the Mindful and Powerful.
Who makes up
Sheldon
these names?
Sumar?
I do.
I know, just kidding.
That's where Aiden
It's
works.
very realmsy.
That's where Aiden works. How convenient.
Sheldon.
Very good. Perfect.
Sheldon Sumar.
Now, Stirge also interviewed Lady Kiko when she was conscious.
Okay. Yes, you did talk with Lady Kiko and the children. She was very weak and out of it, but she told you everything she could. So, what did you want to ask? And I need you to make a persuasion check to determine how effective your interview was.
Okay.
Not that you need to persuade her to tell you stuff, but how good are you at setting her at ease and helping her remember?
Oh, very good. 27.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
All right. What do you want to know?
Does she remember anything about the attack? Who it was? Any?
It was a dark shape that swooped in through the window and knocked her down and then did something to her head.
Smells?
Like touched it and then it was burning, and it was the most painful, wrenching experience she's ever had. And she's given birth a couple times.
Smells? Sounds? Did it speak?
Oh, she smells her own flesh burning. You can tell that she gets it is a combination of burning and rotting. It's like you were burning rotten eggs.
Huh.
And she obviously gets a little pale, just remembering that.
But no lemon scented.
She doesn't know what to say to that.
And the children? Did they see anything?
Children did not witness the attack. All they saw was her lying unmoving on the floor. and they assumed she was dead.
And we didn't find anything on the floor. Nothing was dropped. She didn't grab anything off of the figure.
There was a broken bowl because she was making dinner and she knocked it off the counter. But she doesn't seem to have taken anything from the cloaked figure.
Let it step in the mess and leave a footprint.
Do any of you have... Oh, well, okay. Go ahead and make a perception check, Rogar, because you did ask.
Ding, ding, ding. Realms, CSI. Okay, there we go. 12, 17.
Okay, yes, you did see a footprint in the mess left by the fallen bowl.
Nice.
I can't remember if vampires leave footprints or not.
It is a medium-sized boot print.
Is it strikingly distinguishable as male or female, or
Hard
as
to say.
particular to any race?
It's not particularly large or particularly small.
No, it doesn't say like a nice stamp on the bottom like Adidas or something that would give us a trace back to
Why, yes, it says
the manufacturer's.
Zentarum on the bottom. No, it does not. It does not. No, it's just a footprint. But it is a boot, not a barefoot or a slipper.
Okay.
Does it happen to match any of our shoe sizes? Just to rule us out.
No.
Okay.
Okay, is it
Or for
smaller
comparison
than
against-
my foot?
Yeah.
It's about the same size as your foot, but maybe a little wider than your foot.
Okay.
Like, your feet are very slight and slender. This foot is more like just a human's foot.
Okay.
Not saying that Stirge isn't a human, he is. He's just a very slender human.
Realm CSI foot unit.
Okay,
They
that's
call
what
us
you got from Lady
Okay.
Kiko. All right, so you're going to the college.
Going to
So,
the college.
You were there at the cafe. Now, the college is located between the market and the temple district. It is named for one of Westgate's most famous residents, the wizard Mintasen, who has numerous things in the city named after him. He was active in the city 100, 150 years ago, and no one has seen him for some time, but he is a local hero. The college was one of his last large investments before he left the city, founded in 1378 under a substantial grant. Hiring a staff of instructors, he had directly approached himself. So you're reading this in the plaque that is for the founding of the college. There are young, mostly wealthy-looking folk going around to various lectures. There are several large chambers that are like like halls where people would hear lectures. Yes, and they're about history and about magical theory and about different racial conflicts within Faerun of the past. Aiden, in fact, Aiden Lath, is teaching a lecture. He's giving a lecture about necromancy, specifically the moral value of necromancy and whether it's truly a dark science or magic that so many people think it is. If you sit there and listen to his lecture for a while, eventually he gets onto the concept of there being a vast conspiracy of enchanters in the realms who are making necromancy look bad.
Sounds reasonable.
Several students are trying to goad him into speaking more on this subject. And finally, a bell clangs, and that signals the end of the lecture.
Did any of those students seem like fanatical?
It's hard to say. They seem like kind of wealthy, look down your nose at people sort of people. Mostly men who are having this, who are kind of egging him on. Aiden, as he sees you, he smiles and then he approaches you. Aiden is a average height human. He has dark hair, which is kind of perpetually messy. His complexion is a bit sallow. He looks like Johnny Depp from a 1990s movie. Okay. And he comes over to you and he says, "Oh, Kayleth, hello. Oh, you brought your friends.
Yep.
Aiden.
Hello.
Aiden.
Craven, isn't it?
So you may call me Stirge.
If you wish. I like the mask.
Thank you.
You are wearing the plague doctor mask, right?
Oh, I am.
Yeah, that's what he's referring to. He's not saying your face looks like a mask. I mean, he might say that.
Keeps the nose warm.
Of course. That's very important if your nose has to regulate internal temperature. Hey, what did you need? Or did you come to listen to the lecture?
Oh, we just came by to listen to the lecture. It was fascinating.
Oh, perfect.
I had some questions, but I'll wait to ask you later in private.
Oh, yes.
Could we?
The one who doesn't like necromancy.
I step in, I say, the two that don't like necromancy.
Perhaps we could get some tea nearby and have a conversation about Sheldon Sumar. Did you know him?
Sheldon Sumar, why would you ask about him?
Well, do you know about his...
He's one of my students. I haven't seen him for a while.
Let's have some
Funny
tea.
you should say that.
Oh, of course. Let's go have some tea. All right, so you're in a local tea house
I'm
across
following
from the
behind
college.
as we go across in the snow, like trying to look at his footprints as we're going across.
He has kind of average-shaped human feet.
Aye,
He does not wear boots, though. He's wearing slippers.
not right
In
now.
the snow?
Yeah, they're getting very wet. He doesn't seem to notice.
Does he have flesh to notice with?
Whoa.
Hard to say. He's wearing full-on pants, so.
Actually, concerning your lecture,
Oh, yeah.
we were wondering if we might test that out in a more practical setting.
Really? He looks really interested. He's like, you wish to speak with someone from beyond the veil.
Yeah. It's
Excellent.
For a good cause, you know.
A very pretty way of putting it.
He starts getting excited. He's like, well, I mean, I would love to do that. So you go and you order tea, right? And he asks for just hot water.
It seems your former student has passed away.
Oh,
It seems...
that's all he says. He pours the hot water on his feet when it shows up.
It seems...
Just basic maintenance.
It seems that he...
Suspicious at all.
Yeah.
he was murdered.
He starts moving his toes a little more rigorously than he used to. Murdered?
Murdered. The first of
Oh, how terrible.
several murders done by, it seems, necromancy.
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 It's not like making out necromancy.
Tomato,
In
tomato.
a sense. All right, he says, oh, is this who you want to speak with?
Yes.
All right, where's his body?
Good
do this.
question.
We were hoping you could help us out with that too.
Oh. Oh, you want to rely on my contacts. Ah, of course. Yes, I can put in a request. They're probably keeping him at the tower. Did you say he died under suspicious circumstances, or do you know that he was murdered? Did you murder him yourself?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're looking into the matter because a friend of mine was also attacked by the same, it seems, killer.
Oh, is your friend dead as well?
No, we were
Oh,
able to
that's
intercede.
unfortunate.
You don't have to sound disappointed.
Why is it disappointing to you that she's alive?
Well, speak with dead doesn't work on living people.
Well, you can
He says that like it's totally reasonable.
you can speak with living anytime you want.
Yeah, but living are so much harder to speak with.
You can't compel them, is that why?
That's what enchanters do. And enchanters are the worst people in Faerun. And here's why. Now, he starts talking to you about the enchanter conspiracy.
Damn it.
You'll never get him to shut up.
So, around noon, you arrive at the tower, which is where the town watch is situated, in the middle of the market. The market is very slow and sparsely populated today because of the snow. Very few people are out in the snow. And Aiden goes up to the guard, and this is a town watchman, not a member of the Eye of Justice or anything, just a leather-armored fellow with a stout cudgel. And he says, oh, hey, can I go and take my friends into the morgue? And the guardsman looks at him, looks at all of you,
Try
And
and look
then-
very respectable.
and then he holds out his hand. And Nane's like, oh,
I step forward, showing my vestments. Just wish to bless the body and show our respects.
uh-huh.
Aye.
Aiden puts some coins, like, as an afterthought in the guy's hand. And then he kind of juggles the coins around. And he looks at Stong. Is that a 2-year-old child you're bringing into the morgue?
No, this is a 4-year-old child.
Oh.
I,
Aiden puts more coins in his hand. And he says, go on in.
So before we enter, I look down at Mirabelle and I say, do you want to come in with us? Okay.
It's a field trip of sorts.
Yeah.
You got to encourage your children's interests.
I mean, she's definitely interested to go, so.
All right, you enter the tower, which is populated with guardsmen. Many of them, it seems like there would be more on a normal day, but it's a snow day, and many of them sent messengers that they were taking a snow day.
Working from home.
Working from home today. I'm gonna deal with that spice dealer in my tall house today. Yeah, they don't leave their apartments. Okay, so you get inside, not too many guardsmen, and you head down into the darkened basement. Aiden just kind of walks into the darkness like no big thing. But those of you who can't see in the darkness,
Stirge is going to bring out his friend Simon,
okay,
who will hover next to him.
looks like an owl.
No, it's a skull.
That's right. It's a skull.
I mean,
That's a totally normal thing.
Yeah. Could you clue the audience in as to
Yeah.
Simon.
Tell us about Simon.
Simon is a skull. He is a spirit of knowledge and wisdom. He is cranky, but also good for illuminating things because he burns with a kind of blue flame out of his eyes and joints and so forth. And if I ask him, he will remain silent, which I do this time, out of respect for the dead.
Aiden says, "Oh, that's an excellent torch. Good job. Is that an animate skull?
Sorry?
Is that an animate skull?"
The skull replies, "Are you an animate person?"
It's an intelligent animate skull. This is great. Can I borrow that?
No,
Can I look at it?
no,
Can I touch it?
You're looking at it
Can I
now.
cast magic on it?
yeah.
no.
Can I? And this continues until you get into the basement. Okay, the basement has a number of stone slabs, and there are bodies draped in. There was an odd bell that sounded behind us.
Oh, class is starting.
Yeah.
Are you going to be late for your lecture?
It says, "Oh no, this is way more fascinating than any lecture I could be giving." I love the morgue. This is my happy place. He goes around
do we
to
just
the
like cut
various
back to the
bodies.
university and it's a full classroom with students who are like, where is he?
And like the Aiden fan club, which is all the young men and young women who think he's really cute and really like listening to him, are really disappointed.
Rogar is having a really hard time understanding how death can be a happy place.
It is antithetical to Rogar's faith.
Yeah.
All right, so Aiden he pulls the veil back on several of the bodies. And he looks at one who is horribly mangled, and he's like, no. He goes around to another, he pulls the veil back, and it is, this body looks more intact. And he goes, no, that's not Chalden either. And he gets to about body number 4 before he finally finds a kind of dark-skinned young man of Kalashite origin, you think, for those of you who know about the realms and such, which is a country to the south of Westgate. And he says, here he is.
Burn on the forehead.
He does have a burn on his forehead in the shape of lips.
Does he smell of lemons?
He smells of rot.
Oh.
Surprise.
Aiden says, is this the one that you wanted to talk to?
Yep.
That's a really interesting wound. He prods at it with his gloved hand.
Necromantic magic.
Yes, definitely necrotic damage. Yes. Fascinating.
Have you ever seen
Fascinating.
anything like it
Oh,
before?
of course. I mean, yes.
Can you
Where?
tell us? Sorry.
Oh, I can cast that spell.
Oh,
Would you like me to demonstrate?
What would be the purpose of casting that spell?
Self-defense, obviously.
Oh. I
Don't you ever use
suppose.
magic to fight to defend yourself or those you care about?
Well, of course, aye.
Advance your cause?
Aye.
Protect your city?
Aye.
Conquer neighboring nations?
Aye.
Oh, well, I've never done that one. Westgate isn't an imperial city. So, do you want to talk to this? Do you want to talk to Sheldon?
Can I examine him first?
Lucky bastard. What?
Yes. I'd just like to look and check his hands and his body for
Okay.
any other marks.
Make a perception check. Or I guess it's really an investigation check. Make an investigation check. Use the same roll.
Yeah. It's going to be a 19.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you find a bunch of marks on the body that lead you to believe that Sheldon was interested in necromantic magic. He has numerous cuts on himself, burns, probably from using magic. He has like those blackened burns on his hands as well. There's a hand-shaped burn wound on his arm, like here. Like a
Unhealed?
left. It is unhealed, so it's clearly a wound that he sustained shortly before perishing. And he is otherwise free of any other wounds that you can find.
Is that necromantic burn or fire?
You're familiar enough with various sorts of magic that you think that is an electrical burn, like lightning magic.
Okay.
Like a shocking grasp spell might have done that.
Is it a hand print?
It looks like a hand grabbed his arm while it had shocking grasp going.
Bigger than my hand or smaller?
About the same size as your hand.
You were the murderer.
I know. your size hand.
Aiden says, "Well, have you decided what you might want to say to this poor, unfortunate, lucky dastard?"
Yes.
think we want to ask him how he died.
And why?
Why would you want to ask him something so pedestrian? You could be asking him about the great beyond, about the secrets that he's finding beyond the... All right, sure.
Well, that'd be
Can I
spoilers.
Can I level with you?
Yeah, of course.
It's for money.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so
And
he
if there's
starts...
anything that we can do to in his name, that any unfinished business, or pass a message on to a loved one.
Oh, yes. If he had unfinished business, you'd think he'd be a ghost, though.
Okay, no, but if he has
You
a
don't
message
think he's
for
a
a loved
ghost,
one,
do you?
I don't know.
He starts casting the spell, and it composed of dark chanting and words that sound vaguely wrong to you.
Kayleth is taking notes.
Yes.
Rogar's like,
Mirabelle seems really interested,
Just for academic purposes.
aye.
and the shadows in the room kind of deepen, and the blue flame seems to burn less brightly. That's the only illumination in the room, is the blue flame around the skull. And then abruptly, the body shudders and inhales and sits up
Wait, I
and
thought
looks at you.
we weren't reanimating anything. I thought it was just to talk to his spirit.
Aiden says, "Oh yeah, we're just talking to it. It's not reanimated.
Oh, all right.
I can reanimate it. Do you want me to reanimate it?"
No, not necessary.
Okay.
I look at Mirabelle, and she's still interested and not afraid.
She looks a little nervous about it now.
All right, I hug her a little bit closer.
Okay. All right. Aiden says, you should go ahead and ask your questions now. I assume that you've figured out what they would be, since the spell only lasts for so long. But
Do you
he's
want to
obviously
go ahead?
concentrating on maintaining the spell.
Who was your murderer? Or just who name or describe your murderer? Can you name or describe your murderer? Will you please name and describe your murderer?
Pick a question.
Because if he says yes, I'm going
Let's
to go
put it in the
off.
form of a Jeopardy question, Stephen. Before
Pick a question that you would like to ask.
Will you please name and describe your murderer?
I do not know my assailant's name. I did not see my assailant's face. I saw only my assailant's darkness and the hate in their eyes. That's one.
How many questions do we have?
Aiden says, generally about 5. There's sweat coming down his forehead.
Did you smell anything?
I smell the smell of lingering death, of graveyards freshly tilled. That's 2.
Where were you when you died?
Good. I was near a place of dancing life, of joy, of revels. Aiden says he was at a fest hall. 3.
Who else was at the fest hall who saw you die?
He says, none bore witness to my fall. All were enjoying themselves in the fest hall. Aiden says, oh, when it starts really hard rhyming, then you know you're almost out of questions. Okay, that's 4. Aiden says, probably one more question. And at that point, you see the darkness starts encroaching upon you. And you realize that you are not alone in this morgue. And I'm going to need you to all roll initiative.
Oh dear.
That's right.
It's better than I
18.
usually do.
Okay, so Stirge, 18.
18.
Kayleth,
19.
okay. Stong,
5.
okay. And Rogar,
17.
17. Oh,
What was with the
I
fist
know,
bump
it's
then?
unusual for me, right? Usually it's...
I thought the fist bump was like solidarity.
That's right.
He's
and
making
I'm
me
putting
feel better about
Aiden
going
at
later.
the end.
I'm
Okay,
saving my action, for the second round.
okay. The shadows move and you realize that they are animated creatures coming toward you. There are 4 of them, 1 coming toward each of you. It seems to be your own shadow, in fact, is standing up off the ground and reaching for you with fingers that start extending into claws.
Aiden, what did you do?
This isn't me. I'm concentrating on the spell. This must be some kind of trap. Anyway,
Ask him if he knew anyone who wanted to kill him.
Kayleth, your turn.
Well, first, Kayleth is going to start singing as a blade singer.
Excellent. You start singing a hymn of battle.
Sing it very loudly and strong, but my voice might quaver a little
Okay.
because she really hates being in close combat, which seems to happen way too much.
That's true. All right. What else?
And she is going to... She's going to try Vampiric Touch
Okay.
on her shadow.
Okay.
Well, fight necromancy with
That's
necromancy.
interesting. Okay, go ahead and roll to hit, I guess.
22.
Okay. You do
Nice.
manage to grab it, and your spell goes off, but it takes no damage from your spell. In fact, you feel your life force starting to go into the creature,
Oh.
and you immediately let go. Unless you want to hold on and see what happens.
Wanna hold your hand? No.
Okay.
Guys, necromancy doesn't work.
Stirge.
Can you give me a layout here? Because Stirge is...
So the room is about 30 feet circular, and
Circular.
there are a number of stone pallets that bodies would lie upon around the room.
all over the place, or
There's
the
a
edges?
there's a spiral staircase in the center, You are near one of the pallets.
And are the pallets along the edge?
Yes, they're all head toward the edge, feet toward the center of the room.
Ah, I see.
Like numbers on a clock.
Right. And how many pallets?
12.
Wow.
Like numbers on a clock.
Interesting. And this spiral staircase is like a column in the middle of the room?
Yes.
Okay. So we are at...
It's actually kind of cramped in here. It is taking, there's like about 10, 15 feet between the stairs and the foot of one of the pallets.
Okay. Well, Stirge is going to get his rapier out.
Okay. Shadow Stirge is lurching for you.
Is the rapier glowing, enemy of elves, that kind of thing? I forget.
Nope.
No. Okay. Well, he's going to give this shadow a good slash through.
Okay.
And
you are near enough to one of your companions to have sneak attack be a valid option.
15.
Okay. 15 will hit.
Okay. And we'll go 8 plus 12, 20.
Ooh, all right. You slash right through it with your rapier.
And
its essence is immediately disrupted, and it breaks into pieces.
Nice.
As it perishes, it kind of leans its head back, and then just melts away.
okay.
Huzzah!
Okay,
How
so
many
you kill
teeth
one.
does it have?
So many teeth.
It's all teeth.
Stirge is going to disengage from any others nearby,
Okay.
and he's going to...
Disengage is just a general thing, so nobody can make opportunity attacks on you when
Right.
you do that.
Oh, okay. And he's going to caper nimbly backwards and take cover,
Behind one of the pallets?
around the central thing.
Okay, behind the stairs.
Yeah, basically he wants to get as far across radially as he can and just still be able to peek around.
Okay. Stirge, in classic Stirge fashion, stabs one of the shadows to death and then flees.
Yep. The Stirge special.
Removes himself from danger until the next opportunity
Tactical
to
retreat.
right.
Rogar.
So the staircase in the middle, does it have a railing around most of it to keep from falling in, or is
It does
just
have a
open?
rickety railing around it.
Okay, so back to the.
It's a metal staircase leading up into the stone reinforced wooden floor above you.
Oh, so it's going up. Okay.
But the floor beneath you is stone. Like this is the stone basement.
All right. All right. So I will back up to the stairs, and I'll summon my spirit guardians. I'll hold up my holy symbol, the burning needle of Sharinlar, and I'll say, "Spirit guardians, I summon you to protect me." And any shadows within a 15-foot radius of me have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I will say that your spell of summoning these glorious, glowing dwarven
Right.
Valkyrie maidens
Right, their beards and braids flowing in the wind.
manages to catch 2 of the shadows. What is their DC?
What is their DC?
Your
Yeah,
DC.
the DC for their saving throw.
It's just says wisdom save for one.
Yeah, so it should be 8 plus your wisdom modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
Next to your spell attack.
Yeah.
bonus.
Okay. Right. Spell save DC is 15.
Okay, they both failed. So how much damage did they take?
12 points
12 points of radiant damage?
of radiant damage.
Oh, nice.
Okay, they both explode
Oh,
in
good.
radiant doom.
Oh, this is going swimmingly
They
so
glow
far.
like yeah.
Perhaps even if they had made their save, they would have perished.
So they like glow like when struck with a Star Trek phaser and
Yeah, essentially. They just burn away as if they were not there to start with. Okay, the last surviving shadow gets to go. And this one is the one attached to Stong. So it is going to lunge at Stong with its shadowy hands. I don't think it's going to hit, though, since 7 is not going to hit you. So,
Nope.
Stong weaves out of the way of the shadow, or maybe just lurches out of the way accidentally and the shadow misses. And then it is Stong's turn.
Yeah, so I'm going to glance down and, make sure that Mirabelle's okay.
Mirabelle seems to be okay.
All right. And so...
She goes like this, Daddy.
It's like, yeah. And then I'm going to reach behind me and, undo the clasp on my, baby... Well, I'm just going to call it a baby Bjorn. Who knows what's called in the realms?
Baby Bjork.
Yeah. And then I'm going to, just put it down, gently into my shadow where it disappears because we had an enchantment placed on the baby Bjorn so that she could always, hide inside my shadow during these encounters.
Isn't your shadow
Isn't your
currently
shadow
attacking you?
No, the
that's not my-
shadow came out of your shadow.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
not your actual shadow.
And so...
It's just blending in.
Yeah. And so I'm going to take my sword. And how far away is that shadow from me?
It's adjacent to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to take out my sword and just attack it.
Excellent.
A good old-fashioned slash.
Okay.
The classics, can't go wrong.
Yep. Is that a 24 hit?
Yes.
Okay. And then does 13 damage.
Okay. Is this a magical sword?
It is a +1 sword.
Okay.
A +1 long sword.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, you slash it. It is still up and about.
Well, I'm not as cool as my teammates.
The dispersed shadows that you have slain, you see little bits and pieces, not the ones that you obliterated, okay, but the one that you cut apart. Little pieces of the shadow are flickering across the floor over to other pallets.
Ooh,
Well,
that sounds bad.
and creepy.
Yeah, and you see that they come up onto these bodies, which shudder and then start sitting up.
Okay.
Okay,
More
Aiden,
dwarven Valkyries.
Aiden,
They're
who
still
is
there.
still maintaining the Speak with Dead spell, points at the shadow that's attacking Stong. And there's this wave of positive energy that comes out of his hand.
What?
Strikes the thing and it just
You
falls
can do
apart.
positive magic?
He says,
okay.
I can break necromantic magic, obviously.
Oh,
Huh.
well. Is he close enough to me that I could just give him a little nudge on the shoulder? Thanks.
Yes, he takes 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Lethal bludgeoning.
Holy shit. Ow!
Thanks.
I'm a wizard. I don't have that many hit points. All right. So now you realize that several of the bodies are standing up like zombies. You hear footsteps coming down the stairs. Like somebody coming to your rescue.
Okay. Not like lurching, slow, shuffling steps.
Does it sound like the guards that we happened to pass earlier?
You can't tell. All right. So round 2. Kayleth. 11 corpses have risen up
Good lord.
as zombies.
Kayleth might be panicking a little right now, but she's going to.
Is she also a little bit impressed by all this cool necromantic
It's like,
power?
oh yeah, this would be super cool
This
if
would
it
be
wasn't
cool.
aimed at me.
Yeah, if I were doing the aiming. Yeah.
Rogar, do you feel like our friend is changing?
I'm a little worried.
All right, Kayleth, what do you want to do?
She's going to do what she should have done and try and see if she knows what these things are.
Okay, make a religion check.
12.
Zombies.
Guys are zombies.
These appear to be just zombies. Those things you were fighting before are shadows,
All right.
like undead creatures. They're all undead creatures.
So shadows can summon zombies?
We don't know. Aiden probably knows.
Yeah, but he's busy maintaining the spell.
The people coming down the stairs, they're not trying to be stealthy.
You don't know.
They're
Yeah,
not
well, they're not trying to be stealthy. That's true.
We just hear footsteps, clank, clank, clank.
Yeah, you hear somebody, at least one person coming downstairs.
Okay.
How close is the nearest zombie?
The nearest zombie has risen up from a pallet immediately behind you, like you backed up and hit it with your backside, and is reaching for your throat. So it is adjacent to you.
Dang.
All right, Kayleth's gonna whirl around, point her sword at him and do booming blade.
Excellent.
It's a melee attack.
Okay.
So I always forget what I have to do for melee.
Go ahead and
That
roll.
sounds like a very anime attack. Booming blade.
Oh, yeah, you
21.
definitely hit it.
Yeah.
For reference, zombie's armor class is 8.
Oh my god.
So it's going to be hard not to hit these things. The problem is they have a lot of hit
No,
points.
that's only one.
I can't miss unless I roll a 1.
She does
Knock on
2
wood.
damage
Okay.
and then backs away towards the center of the room.
All right. I think the zombie gets to opportunity attack you,
Yep.
so it is going to do that. 7.
Miss.
Okay, so it falls off the pallet trying to hit you, and then kind of shambles up.
So booming blade is if it moves before before my next turn, it
Right.
takes damage.
It didn't really move. I'm just describing it that way. But it does seem like it is going to come after you. Okay. Stirge. So there are now zombies animating behind you.
Right, and there's stairs
Stairs.
that I'm basically right there at the stairs.
You're at the foot of the stairs. You see
And-
somebody coming down the stairs.
And so I'm going to say, zombies! And is there a railing on this stair? Like if one were to retreat a couple steps up, that would limit anyone's ability to, well, numerous people couldn't crowd around me. Is that correct?
Yes, you can choke point the zombies if you go onto the stairs.
And can I still see my friends?
Sure.
Okay, so
The stairs are not enclosed.
who's in the most danger? Do I see Kayleth being...
Yeah, you saw everything that just happened.
Okay, so did you make it all the way to the stairs?
Yes.
Yes, she's standing next to you.
Okay, so then
Singing.
I'm going to try to take out the nearest zombie then.
Okay.
With, is there one within 5 feet of her?
If you wait, they will move up that close, but not currently.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I'm going to stay where I am. I'm going to whip out the. I'm going to wait until she's there. I'm going to
Okay.
hold until they're close enough for me to sneak attack.
All right, so are you going to ready an attack for when
Yes.
one approaches?
When there's one close enough to her that I can get a sneak attack on it, I will
Okay.
do that.
Right.
Happy to be bait.
Rogar, your turn.
Hi. So the spirit guardians are still flying around. And
They are flying around the body that has the Speak with Dead on it.
they're within a 15-foot
Yes,
radius around
that's-
me.
I'm just-
and
oh,
in
okay.
the center of the room, or
Correct.
I'm up against the stairs.
Well, I'm saying that's kind of where you were standing, was by that pallet. Do you want to move toward the stairs?
So I had said that I'd back my back up to the stairs
Okay.
and cast spirit
Okay,
guardians.
I understand.
So I'm basically trying to protect the center of the room and the
All right,
stairs.
so yeah, there's you are also in the light radius of this spell that Rogar cast.
Aye. So they're still going. So any creatures that come in or remain within the 15-foot radius take damage. Do the Wisdom saving throw against DC 15.
Nice.
And then
And it's when they start their turn or enter the area, right?
yes, I believe
Okay.
you are correct. And then I'll cast a spiritual weapon, which is so I do my thing. Love hurts, love scars, love wounds. Hammer heart, and my spectral hammer of love appears. That's the shaft and
See,
the
that's
giant
anime.
heart. And I'll send it flying at the nearest zombie to strike.
Now with the power of friendship.
Yes.
Sailor Moon transformation.
All right, and 15 plus 7, so 22.
Yeah, that hits. They have an AC of 8, remember. So you can just kind of tell me if you hit them.
Oh, okay. Oop. Let's try a different one. There we go. 9 points of damage with the hammer, and then with
And it's force damage, yes?
I would assume so.
Yeah, I believe
like
so.
a bludgeoning sort of thing.
Yeah, it's force damage. Okay.
Okay, and then with my other hand, I cast Sacred Flame, which is a dex save on their part.
Ooh, zombies super dexterous. Here we go.
Super. At least these kind. Thank God they're not the fastest kind.
Its DC is 15, right?
Yes.
And it got a 10, so.
All right. So I call down the fire of Sharindlar upon you, and a column of holy flame does 12 points of damage.
Are you striking the same zombie you hit before?
If it didn't go down, then yes.
Okay. It did not go down, but it goes down now.
Excellent.
When this pillar of fire hits the zombies, what does it smell like?
It smells like burning dead flesh. It smells a little bit like cooking pork that's been in the fridge for too long.
You're welcome.
No, not even in the. Okay, in
Zombie,
a fridge
other
that lost
way.
power, and you didn't realize it lost power for several days, and then you open it and say, "I'm not going to throw this away. I'm going to put it on the stove." That's what it's
Okay, yeah.
As one
because
does.
you're a monster.
This
If you really don't like your roommate, you just
So-
toss it in the microwave.
So that leads to the next question. What does it taste like?
No, much the same.
There's some blast into Kayleth's mouth. And she's like,
Wow.
the taste
Ooh,
is
wow.
dead.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, we're that party.
So,
Sensory details are important.
so we're gonna go to Stong's turn now.
Well, the
Stong.
monster's being blasted apart. Like catching snowflakes. All right.
Stong, do
flakes.
something.
Anyways, all right. So what is, you might have said this, but what is the diameter of the room?
It
30.
is a 30-foot
30?
diameter room.
Ah, okay. So is it possible for me to make it a
Actually, no. It is a 30-foot radius room.
Oh.
I think I said that incorrectly. It is a 30-foot radius room. So his
Oh.
pillar of light is not filling the entire room.
Okay. Is there space in the room that's clear enough for me to walk to that's like slightly more than 15 feet away from any of my friends? Any of my best friends?
Say that one more time.
Is there a spot in the room where I can walk to that's more than 15 feet away from any of my friends?
Yes.
Great. How many attacks of opportunity must I take to get there?
Just one. From the zombie who's nearest you.
Oh, okay. Then I do it.
Okay. So that would be
I don't like
17.
that he's looking up things.
17 AC. Is that
yeah,
hit you?
yeah, that hits.
Excellent. So that zombie smashes you with its dead fist for 7 points of damage. Ooh.
All right.
Oh, just your bonus hit points from this morning. So.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's like Rogar's beautiful inspiration is just like suddenly gone from my head. Okay, so now that I get there, I'd like to use my remaining action to cast Thunder Wave,
Okay.
which
Oh,
is
great. It's going to be like a meat,
Oh, wow.
meat
All right.
shred.
yeah. So every creature in a
crispy.
15-foot cube originating from me must make a Constitution saving throw against a DC 10. Because I'm such a good spellcaster.
You are really good spellcaster.
This
Yes.
is going to be like
Just
a
the
meat
best.
pinata.
Well, one of them failed.
Well,
And
I'm gonna.
You caught 2 zombies. One of them failed, one of them made it.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna burn a level 3 slot, so that means it's going to be up to 48. Otherwise, it's going to be.
Wow. Okay.
Otherwise, it's half. But let's
Okay.
see. Okay. So let's see. It would be 9 plus. So 19 is if they don't save.
Oof. All right. So one zombie was massively struck by your thunder and goes flying into the radiant light of the Dwarven Valkyries and bursts into flames. So that one's destroyed.
Alley-oop.
Thunderstruck!
The other one took a certain amount of radiant damage and is otherwise okay. Do they get pushed around?
Yeah,
on
the ones
a-
that don't save get pushed around.
Okay.
But also everybody else hears like this thunderous boom. So Stong's gonna go, smash!
Okay.
Smash
Yes.
and dash.
So the zombie that did save took some damage, got pushed into the aura of the radiance, which means it's probably going to burst into flames in a second. Okay, it is Aiden's turn. He is still maintaining that spell. And he...
Oh, that's right. We still have one more question.
Yeah, I keep.
He says, are you going to ask the other question, or am I just doing this for no reason?
He points
at another zombie.
Message to
and,
someone you love.
Yeah.
It
Wait,
slows
let's not rush
down,
this.
but does not stop. So he did
you
some
say not
damage to it.
Yeah.
How is a message to someone you love a waste?
No, that's not a waste, but maybe we could get that plus some other info.
Okay. All right. The person
Message to someone you
coming
love
down the
about who
stairs
killed you.
Yes.
appears
Brilliant.
and
My beloved. I will
points
brutally
this sword, which is burning with white flame, at the zombies and says, "Back, foul creatures!" And the zombies okay. A couple of the zombies cringe away, like, and start backing away into the darkness. And several of the zombies keep coming despite the attempt. And he says, "Back, foul creatures!" Oh no. All right. This is a knight in a breastplate sort of armor, it looks like, with a white cloak and that sword.
Flaming sword.
Flaming sword. White flames.
Okay.
There's a symbol on the hilt of the sword of Tyr, god of justice. Okay, and the zombies get to go. So I'm going to have one zombie attack each of you at this point. Stirge.
Yep.
The zombie attempts to strike you and utterly fails.
Okay.
Kayleth, you're also okay. Rogar, I think a
Aye.
22 is going to hit you.
Aye.
So a zombie comes into your radiant aura, which is not good for the zombie. Does not succeed on the saving throw. So how much damage do they take for coming into the radiant aura?
Do I just go with the original roll, or do I roll each time? What's your roll?
Roll each time.
Okay. So if they fail to save, then they take 13 points.
Okay. So this zombie takes 13 points of radiant damage. The zombie that was pushed in is burst into flames and is consumed. This one took 13 points of damage, hits you for 5 points of damage.
Eric,
Yep.
when the one attacks her,
Yep.
I would.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yep, hits.
Yeah, its AC is 8.
Yeah. And it's going to take 5 plus 7 and 4. That's going to be 16.
Okay. You slew that zombie.
Slash. And
That was also the zombie that Aiden had zapped with
Okay.
his spell. So he
Okay.
kind of weakened it, and then you killed it.
Okay, great.
Okay. And then 2 zombies are in the dark outside the radius, and they're coming after Stong. So I'm going to have 2 attacks Stong.
No,
Bring it on.
They both miss. Okay. The other zombies are turned, and they're hanging back from the battle. Okay, round 3. Kayleth.
All right. First, she's going to put Aiden out of his misery.
You're going to kill
of
Aiden.
keeping the spell in place.
Oh, okay. I
Oh.
thought you were going
Of
to kill
keeping
him.
the spell.
He wants to be dead, clearly.
All right.
Under certain circumstances.
Question. What do you know that we should know that would help us find the person who killed you?
Nice.
Oh. The corpse starts saying something while you were fighting, and it is too loud for you to hear his
what?
answer.
Do we
But
get
Aiden,
a perception or something?
Aiden is standing right next to him, so Aiden can tell you what he said.
Oh, is
Now,
Aiden
this
going to tell
will
us
give
the
me.
truth?
See, this is one of those DM tricks of this will give me a minute to think about what to say. All right,
And
Kayleth,
now
that was
break.
just a free
word from
action
our
to
sponsors.
speak. So, what else do you want to do?
Can she get into a position where she could catch as many zombies as possible in a 15-foot cone?
You can get if you want to strike the turned zombies.
Any of them.
You could get 3 zombies that way. Otherwise, you can angle it and get 2 zombies at a time.
the 2 zombies that attacked Stong?
And Stong.
It's okay. I got plenty of hit points. I know you didn't mean it, so.
You sure?
I was gonna say.
So in the battlefield, we share this look, this knowing look, and I just give her a nod.
Hit me with your burning hands. I can take it. Okay. All right. So they make reflex saves.
Shoot me in the leg to save the hostage. I understand.
Oh, they both failed.
Reflex save.
And
Oh, reflex? Okay.
Stong, make a reflex save.
All right. Oh, you mean dexterity?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
23.
Whoa!
Whoa, all right.
So you only take half damage then.
Stong matrix out of the way and takes half damage from the burning hands.
Which does...
Okay, no, you took cover behind one of the zombies, but
nice.
it didn't block all the fire because you're
nice.
a big guy.
There's a tiny
All right,
little
how much
zombie in
damage
front
does
of
it
me.
do?
11.
11. Okay, well, one of the zombies bursts into flames and is consumed. That was, it had been previously injured. Let me just do some quick math here. So there are 3 turned zombies.
Train A leaves town at 15 miles per hour. Train 2 leaves town 2 at 10 miles per hour.
So hey, be sure to check out the chat for the chest code from Idle Champions. They are pretty awesome. Get to play again. Get to play Bruner. Any feisty signs. Anyway.
Yeah, just in case. Exclamation mark. We love codename. All one word.
So by my math, there are 3 zombies that have not been turned that are still up and fighting. Yeah, I've been doing it right. Okay. So you blast them with burning hands.
Is one of those zombies the one with booming blade on it?
Yes, in fact. And that zombie has indeed moved closer, so go ahead and do that extra effect.
4 damage.
4 damage. Okay.
Huh. What is booming blade like when it activates?
So it sets up this like harmonic resonance around the being. And then when they come close, it's like this thunder blast of something terribly out of tune.
Our battles are like a terrible concert. Like haranguing his Valkyries, my like yelling.
And when you fight a mob, it's like a mosh pit situation. Okay, yes. Yep, you did damage to that zombie. Okay, Stirge.
Okay,
So
Stirge.
there are two Zeds
Death metal.
on you right now. Well, one is on you, and yeah,
I mean,
the
I
one
like
that
to
the one that
death
had the booming
Yeah,
blade on
I
it
mean,
is
it's
the
pretty
one
great.
attacking you right
Okay.
now. There are 2 attacking Stong.
Okay.
There are none attacking Rogar because they burst into flame when they go too close.
Another rapier.
Yep.
6, 7, 8, and 5. 13. Slash. Trying to
Yeah, it hits.
see if I can do a decapitation with a rapier blade.
Is that how much damage you did?
13, yeah.
13 damage? Okay.
Oh my god, I forgot to do my add. Sorry, plus 5. 18.
18 damage. Oh, okay.
See, kids? It comes in use at some point in your
By
life.
the power of math, I add 5 points of extra damage.
Take that!
Okay. Yeah, you do. You decapitate the zombie.
Oh, how about that? With a rapier, no less.
Who was that zombie in a previous life?
Ooh, good question.
Don't ask that.
Not enough
Stone
time
will
to know that
perseverate.
yet. Okay. Rogar.
Right. So, what do I see?
All right.
Describe.
So there's a white knight who came down the stairs with a flaming white sword.
Literal white knight.
Yeah. Who turned 3 of the zombies who are backed up against the wall.
Uh-huh.
And there are 2 zombies over there groping at Stong.
So there's 5.
And they're on
zombies
fire.
left. Okay.
And
Not
Stong
safe
is
touching.
on fire.
Yeah,
Isn't
I do not consent.
And
I am
that's
dodging.
it. So there are 3 zombies that have been turned. You know that if they take damage, the turning will end.
Right.
And there are 2 attacking Stong. You think that if you wanted to, you could just move over closer to them, and then they would burst into flames immediately when their turn started, which is going to be next.
Right.
Well, soon.
So what I will do, first of all, just let me note that I am the world's worst cleric because I don't usually play cleric, so this is my. So we finally encounter undead, and I don't even think to cast turn undead.
Apparently
Like
not.
world's worst.
saving
cleric.
it. You're saving
Anyway,
it.
I'm saving
time.
it.
Saving it.
The whole
Take
time
that.
I've been sitting here like, is it going to happen? When's it gonna happen?
He's waiting for the boss.
It's not gonna happen.
I'm going home in shame tonight. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, all right. So what I will do is I will send my spiritual weapon over to strike one of the zombies attacking my best friend, Stong.
Okay.
And
Go ahead and attack.
aye. So the hammer of love brings down the pointy end of the heart.
Ooh, not the point.
See, now I'm rolling like I normally do. So that was a
think
2.
I think you still hit though.
Really a 2? Oh, probably.
Well, its AC is
Plus
only
7,
8.
so 9.
Yeah, see, you still hit.
Okay.
Excellent.
You only miss if you roll a 1.
I can hit in spite of myself. Right, so 4 plus 4, so 8 points of damage to
Okay.
one.
Great.
With the pointy end of the heart.
Okay.
Just want to emphasize.
Yes.
Don't like these things.
These are like
The
and it's
hammer
still,
smashes into the zombie. The zombie is now bent over, but still scrabbling it. Stone.
okay, and I
Like a human body's not supposed to bend that way.
another column of Sharundlar's sacred flame pours down upon it. Does a
Okay.
dex save.
Yeah. No.
And it
Yeah.
takes 15
no,
points.
It bursts into flame. That zombie is destroyed.
And then-
Utterly destroyed.
and
you,
then-
you totally incinerated that body.
Little dust motes up into the air,
Mm-hmm.
and then I do that, and then I turn and start march. I come within 15 feet of the fleeing turned zombies as my movement.
Okay. All right. Those zombies are still staying away from the knight who came down the stairs. Okay, Stong, you have one zombie attacking you.
oh,
Who's
okay.
on fire?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like these are great like trainer monsters because like they like just throw themselves on our weapons.
Yeah,
I
basically.
can't miss even I roll a 1, so I'm definitely gonna try to attack him.
Well, if you roll a 1, you still miss because it's an automatic miss.
Oh darn. Okay.
So much more fun than rats in the cellar.
Yeah.
Unless they're sleep rats.
Right.
Okay. So I do have the charger feat, and so I could use my action to dash, and then use a bonus action to attack. So could I theoretically
Could
like
do that.
dash away
Yes.
and then back into it?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
All right, it's going to make an opportunity attack on you.
Whatever.
So he's going to circle
12
the
AC?
stairway.
No.
No, it does not hit.
All right, so you start, you
It's still
run over the
chasing you.
stairs.
Yeah, it's in front
The
of me.
zombie turns toward you, and then you run back at the zombie
This is the perfect room for you. It's a circular room. You can just.
and smash into it like a meteor. Go ahead and
Yep.
roll.
All right.
Please roll a 1.
17 plus 8 is 25.
Yeah, you hit it, definitely.
So that's a plus 5 to all that work for a plus 5 to the damage roll, but I'll take it. It's gonna be 11.
By any chance, was this one of those bodies that had bloated up like a gas bag?
So I,
We're
like,
going to
pop the
say
balloon.
yes.
Oh, okay, fine.
And it bursts like an overripe grape,
Oh man.
spattering you all over with corpse fluid.
Meat pinata.
Meat pinata.
Just bush.
I'm gonna stop making that face. I'm sorry.
Does Stong do his usual thing of.
Yeah. I mean, we already know what this one tastes like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
So how about he, flicks some of the flesh off him and then he offers it to Rogar.
Oh,
the zombies.
Thanks for the save.
Oh my god.
aye.
The zombies in your aura of radiance burst into flame and perish before they can come to attack you, and you are left alone in the basement with this white knight with the glowing white sword
And
Aiden.
And the corpse
So it
that
is
was
Aiden.
talking to him did not turn
wait,
into a zombie.
Correct. And Aiden comes over to you. Oh, the corpse that was talking, once it said its dire pronouncement that none of you could hear, slumped back over dead again. Aiden comes over to you and he looks at the destroyed bodies. He says, "Oh, what a waste."
This guy. This guy.
Yeah. And then the knight says, "Oh, is everyone all right?"
So Stong is going to nod, but then he's gonna like put his hands over his shadow, and then like Mirabelle sort of like pops up from it and he catches her, and then he like puts her back on his chest and like straps the Bjorn again.
Aiden goes, and the knight goes, oh, that's a thing. Hello, I'm Redagast. He pulls off his helmet, and he's this fairly handsome ginger man of, maybe 30 years of age or so.
How tall is he?
He's about 6 feet tall.
Oh yeah, is he wearing glasses?
Has a nice
No.
little ginger beard.
I'm not a ginger. What are you talking about? Okay, no. And I think he has elven heritage too. Anyway, he says, "Oh, no, stop it. Okay." And he says, "Oh, I'm so glad I came to the rescue, although it doesn't seem like you needed me."
Why did you come?
He says, "I was investigating a murder, actually."
Funny you should say that. We were
Aiden
doing the
says,
same thing.
"Yes, funny. How's it funny? I just see it as plot contrivance." And on that note,
Meta.
I think it's about time for us to go to break. We will learn the mystery of the mysterious White Knight, who is not me. Stop it.
Shameless DM insert.
I honestly didn't even think of that. And then we will learn what the corpse said in its last question, and we will also maybe figure out what's up with Aiden. Who knows? Anyway,
Can I make a prediction?
make a prediction.
Rosebud.
All right. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Don't go away, and we'll see you when we're back in. Welcome back to the Westgate Irregulars, Episode 2, Knightfall. I just wanted to clarify one thing. Westgate Irregulars is the name of the campaign that we are running. Our organization, our group, our gaming cadre is called the Dungeon Scrawlers. Don't want to confuse anybody. All right, and on that note, we take you once again to this dark, decrepit, somewhat creepy morgue beneath the tower in Westgate, city of thieves, which is now much brighter and full of burned flesh, as a group of adventurers have burst in and destroyed all of the bodies that were currently being investigated.
Murder hobos.
Self-defense.
Except for the one that they came to investigate.
Self-defense. It's all
Yes.
in self-defense.
Self-defense.
This is why we wear a plague doctor mask. It stinks. It seems like everything we do, it's either in a sewer, a crypt, there's either rotting sewage, rotting bodies. It's good to have, scented masks.
You get the full range of the city's.
Disgusting.
Aiden says, "I don't know what you're talking about. This is an excellent smell." And then the knight,
That boy worries me.
the knight who came in to assist you in battling the zombies, although you didn't really need his help, introduces himself as Redagast Hawkwinter, and he is a knight, a knight errant who is here to investigate this string of murders. And you told him that you were also doing the same thing, and he says, "Oh, perhaps we can pool our resources. You didn't destroy the body, did you? He looks around and pulls out a scrap of paper, and Sheldon Sumar. You didn't destroy that body, did you?" He looks around. at
Before
the-
we disclose that, who sent you here to investigate these?
No one sent me here. I'm an independent operator.
Who hired you?
Tyr, the god of justice, he points at the symbol on the hilt of his glowing sword.
Who
Says, "I'm a paladin.
Who gave you the list, though?
I compiled this list on my own.
Is he lying?
I compiled this list with some help. I have contacts in certain organizations that put me on this path." All right. You seem like you have a trustworthy face. Which
I
is
do.
It's
something.
the wings. It's the wings. It always
Yeah.
It's something that no one has ever said to Kayleth. He says, "My information comes from the Eye of Justice, but I should clarify that I am not a servant of theirs. I am simply an independent operator here for the good of Westgate."
So
He does seem to be telling the truth.
Is the Eye of Justice related to the Eye of Grumps or whatever?
The Eye of
a lot
Justice
of
are the
eyes
ones
around.
trying to frame
Ilira.
Ilira.
Oh.
He says, indeed, and I am attempting to prove her innocence.
What?
Wait,
Really?
you're not trying to frame Lady Nathalin, are you? He looks around warily.
We're not trying to frame anyone.
Why would you work against your own organization?
They're not my organization.
But
Why do you think she's innocent?
He thinks for a second. He says, I have met the lady, and I think that everyone is capable of goodness and redemption, and I think she is walking that path. It's a very lawful good answer.
Well, obviously we agree.
Aiden says, do you want to know what the corpse said?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, first he I should say it, because it's really the animus, not the actual being, and it's complicated. But basically what it said was that it was confused about why you would be asking that particular question, and it needed a second to think, which is odd, because animuses don't really have a mind. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off track. You're really distracting, you know that? I've told you that. Anyway, what the corpse said...
She likes to do this thing. Just casually raise and lower her wings all the time. No
Stirge
reason.
is like, oh no, in my face, in my face. What the corpse ultimately said was that his attacker came from the shadows and vanished into the shadows once again.
Answers are very cryptic.
Radagast says, oh, I got that one. Well, you were questioning the corpse?
Yes.
That's interesting. One of you is a priest, I suppose.
Aye.
Oh, so you're questioning the corpse. And Aiden goes,
Lie. Lie.
We were questioning the corpse, aye.
I see. Did you learn any pertinent information? Do you tell him what the corpse said or not?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the corpse told us anything useful, did it? It was all sort of...
No.
Well, that it came from the shadows and it smelled like the grave. Or smelled like corpse dust.
Aye.
Yeah, he was killed in the fest hall.
Hatred in its eyes.
Right.
Smelled of freshly tilled graveyards.
Rhett kind of flushes a little bit when you say the fest hall, and he says, did he say which fest hall?
Oops.
No.
Oh.
How many fest halls? Probably in Westgate there's a lot of them.
Numerous. Perhaps I shall investigate one of those.
Oh, you will you?
Well, I don't think it wouldn't have been the Purple Lady.
It could have been. The Purple Lady is a popular fest hall.
But I lived there. I wouldn't have heard.
Are you asking me, the DM, or are
Yes.
you asking...
Yes.
Okay, you didn't hear about any murders until Ilira asked you to look into it.
By the way, I have a feeling if you're trying to investigate fest halls, you're going to be at it for a very, very long time.
Rat says, what? No. No, of course not. Do you think they have, like really good drinks?
Only if you go to the good ones.
Yeah, you're probably right. I haven't been to a fest hall in a long time.
You want some suggestions?
Oh, absolutely.
So we have shared what we learned. What have you learned to this point?
Oh, he fumbles for more paper, and he pulls out another sheet of paper with notes scribbled on it, and he says, so another of the victims, Morn Sunborn, that's an interesting choice on the part of their parents, was found killed outside the Temple of the Sun to Aminator and Lathander. It's a joint temple.
Aye.
And I investigated that body, what there was of it anyway, and found nothing conclusive. Oh, I haven't been able to find this one. And he hands you another piece of paper. I guess he's assumed that Rogar is the leader.
Aye.
And it's a sketch similar to what Ilira gave you. And the name is Ven Vamos.
Vamos.
Of House Vamos.
Says, yeah, if you can somehow talk your way into House Vamos' good graces. They don't trust me. I think, I don't know, just an irrational dislike of my face, maybe.
So House Vamos, I know this has come up before. What is the context of House Vamos for this group? I don't think it was before.
Yeah, so
Rogar
let's
joined.
clarify it for the audience. They have some history with this particular merchant house, House Vamos, Vhammos, which is the ruling house currently of Westgate. They control the Cromarchy, which is the leadership position of Westgate. It's a little bit politically tenuous, and their house has some moral questionableness about it. One of the first times that they came together, they found a shipment of what they assumed was illegal contraband. They, as in the Irregulars, found a shipment. And it turned out to be a cart full of bodies. Two carts full of bodies that the Vamos were taking somewhere.
That didn't start out as bodies.
Well, they weren't bodies forever, no.
Right, so one of the Vamos clan got killed in this manner.
Yes, a lesser heir.
One of the most powerful families, you think they'd be pursuing this investigation?
Well, they're keeping the body locked in tight at their castle.
Aye.
So that could be an avenue. I haven't looked into Torque Ironhammer. That's a dwarf victim.
Aye.
Either of those.
Sounds like a shield dwarf type of a name.
Oh, I don't like to make assumptions, but you're a dwarf, you probably know.
Aye.
That's kind of an assumption that I just made.
And what's of Torque? What do you know of him?
I haven't investigated him yet.
Well,
And is there a fifth?
Fern Aldous, a bard, actually, who was a little down on their luck and was looking for some coin. That body was discovered in an alley in the East End.
interesting. And
The murders seem to be happening all over the city.
aye, and to those people of all sorts. What is? I find it amazing that someone would be attacked right in front of the Temple of the Sun.
Well, it was in the back alley,
Ah,
and it was after hours. The sun god is not very strong during the night, I suppose.
So what is it you plan to be doing next?
Preferably find this killer and defeat them.
I meant to find the killer.
Oh, to find the killer. That's the hard part. I've come up to sort of a dead end. I mean, that's why I was coming to investigate Sheldon's body.
If there was a way to figure out a pattern between them and predict the next victim, we could then set a trap.
That's a good idea.
So, Aiden, do you recognize any of the names?
He looks at that list. Yes?
Yes, who?
Which one?
Oh, I recognize the Vamos name. It's very popular in the city.
Like actually popular? He was a popular person?
Oh, I don't know that particular Vamos.
Oh.
But you don't know any of the others? They weren't university types?
No, we don't have very many dwarves enrolled at the university.
what does that mean?
We don't have very many dwarves enrolled at the university.
Well, maybe that says something about the university, I suppose.
Maybe it does. Maybe I should have a conversation with the administration about enrolling more dwarves at the university. That's a good idea. I hadn't even thought of that. Would you come with me to have this conversation with the administration and the university?
I'm not sure.
I think that would lend additional weight to my argument.
I think that you and I should have more discussions before I feel comfortable sort of
Oh yeah, whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, good. I have so many
I am
things to
an
share
open
with
book.
you about Sharindlar and her love and the beauty of life.
Wait, is this a religious thing?
Well, I.
Oh, hard pass.
But it's not like, you know, it's very good religion things. It's to enhance your life and your love.
Oh,
The most important
I already have certain deities that I pray to periodically. And I'm sure the philosophers have assured me that I do have a patron deity. And it's probably Merkel.
Merkel.
Yes, the god of death.
That would make sense.
Well,
Wouldn't it? I kind of thought maybe it would be Kellenborg, but apparently my life is not orderly enough. Anyway, so Rhett is watching this conversation like, who, what, yeah.
So reviewing the list, what is the time duration between the killings? Is it getting like more frequent? Or is there any sort of pattern, like, you know, every 3 months or something?
It looks like it was originally every couple days, but recently it has moved to every evening.
Every evening?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Ven Vamos, which is the last name on the list, was slain not last night, but the night before. And then Lady Kiko was attacked last night.
So somebody might be attacked tonight then.
Possibly. It's getting on into the early after high sun. The sun is starting to sink.
Aiden,
Ah, yes.
how plugged in are you with local politics?
Oh, I try to avoid that.
Okay, never mind.
so
Politics is so ephemeral.
what is it that we would potentially gain by accessing Ven Vamos' body?
Rhett says, well, there might be clues.
Well,
Were there clues on the other bodies, though?
Well, there was a burning.
He pulls out more paper, and he looks and he's like, and he says, Sunborn was clenching a piece of black fabric.
Where is
You
this?
think that might be relevant?
Where is this black fabric now? Did you happen to collect it?
Oh, yeah. He takes it out of his pocket.
Well, great.
if only we had Artemisia.
But he doesn't
I bet
hand it
she
to you.
could
He
tell
kind
us.
of pulls it back. And he says, I can't part with it to folk that I don't really know.
Could I just hold it for a moment? I'll return it.
Make a persuasion check.
She's very trustworthy. I'm helping her.
16.
Okay.
I'm surprised Stirge isn't trying to slide a hand.
He
thing
says,
like that.
I don't know. That doesn't seem. And then he looks at Rogar, and he's like,
You can trust her.
like I think I can trust you. He hands you the piece of fabric.
Okay. Do I immediately get any kind of sense off of the fabric? Like,
You seem like a noble fellow.
thank you.
I thought you said I had a trustworthy face. What's going on here?
You do, but he has a more trustworthy face.
Oh.
Aiden says, typical.
It's the beard, probably with more. It's just, you know.
Rhett says, oh, yeah, it's definitely the beard.
Gravitas.
So yeah, it's just a piece of lightly oiled, as in waterproofed, black fabric.
Similar to what you described the attacker wearing, their cloak. So. But I don't get any like bad vibes off it or anything.
It's like a
Okay.
piece of a cloak, maybe.
Here, did you want to smell and taste it?
Oh, sure. So Stong is going to take it and use his investigation skill. And let's see. What does an 11 get me?
It tastes like leather.
Oh, it's leather.
It tastes like leather, everybody.
Leather. What does that mean?
I think it means something died for this.
Rhett says, well, it was probably a weather cloak that the assailant was wearing.
A weather cloak.
I got the sense
Rogar
that,
says no.
that Morn pulled away part of the cloak, that it ripped when they pulled back their hand.
So do I know if there's some sort of like spell in the realms that would allow us to take an object and find its owner?
I don't know, do you?
Roll Arcana.
Yeah.
Yeah. 15.
You have heard of such spells.
Locate object?
Locate the owner of an object.
Wolf.
Oh, yeah,
have
we
a
bring it to the
wolf.
wolf.
Aye.
Give him a sniff.
I mean, or the spell.
Rhett says, you have a wolf?
Our friend has a wolf.
Oh, your friend has a wolf. Are do you have a license for that wolf? No, it's fine. I'm not an actual legal representative of Westgate.
You will
I
have
keep reminding myself
you will
that.
have to take that up with our friend.
Okay, I look forward to it.
Can we tell what part of the cloak it would have been by looking at it?
Not really.
So
Like
what,
there is some thread. Like maybe it's where you would have had a button.
what kind of evil creatures feared the rain? I've heard witches might melt a little. Some certain witches might
Could just be a person.
Who knows
Well-
necromancy? Yeah.
Who knows necromancy?
Yeah. But
Rhett,
if they're
Rhett says, well,
Does
it
necromancy
was really
make
good
you
to meet
afraid
you,
of the rain? Rogar says.
and I better get onto my investigation. If you want to look into one of the other bodies, we could split our efforts.
I say, well, if you give us this piece of cloth, we can find the owner. We can pay somebody to cast a spell and find the owner of it.
Well, I already gave it to Rogar there.
Oh, I thought you took it back. Sorry. Then great. It's ours.
Yeah. He says, I trust that you will. I trust that you will be very responsible with it,
Rogar blushes.
and perhaps we can meet up again later and to talk about the cloak. I should go.
We should actually make a point of meeting later. How
Yes.
about tomorrow night at the, what's the name of a fest hall that we've never been to?
The Black Boot.
Black Boot?
The Black Boot is the name of a tavern, a very rough
that's right.
tavern,
Oh, that's right.
but it's fine. Yeah. He's like, oh, the Black Boot, I know that one.
Is it a fest hall?
Well, every tavern is sort of a fest hall, but it's not officially a fest hall.
Oh, let's go there. That's a, all right, Black Boot tomorrow, when? Tomorrow morning, after the next murder. I suppose.
Sounds good.
After the next murder, we can
More
discuss
evidence.
the next murder. Won't that be?
I mean,
Actually,
I'd
you
like
know-
to try to stop the next murder if we can.
You know what? Maybe tonight we can just go walk around the streets and see if we notice anything.
Listen for screams.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so, all right. So there is a fest hall called the Black Eye. Okay, that's one you've never been to.
Okay.
There's also Lilda's, which is outside the city walls. It caters mostly to travelers. There's the Depths, which is by the arena. Stong has maybe had a drink there once upon a time. And there's the
Regular.
Crimson Kiss, which is sort of a temple fest hall.
That has the
we
word.
should go
Sacred
to
to
the Crimson
Sune, Shares, and Lyra.
Is that signaling? We should go to the Crimson Kiss?
Yes.
How ironic or contrived. Okay, the Crimson Kiss, he blushes a little bit. He's like, yeah, of course, I'll meet you there tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow, let's do morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Yes, breakfast. At
Perfect.
Crimson Kiss.
Perfect. Okay. So, he leaves.
Let's vamos.
Oh.
Let's look into the vamos.
Okay.
I have certain interest in learning about them.
Didn't you guys run into some problems with them? I thought I heard you talking about them.
Well, they don't know we had problems with them, but we know about them.
Aye. All right.
What do you know about them? What do you tell Rogar? Because you're also telling our audience how you feel about the Vamos.
They're evil slavers.
Ooh.
It seemed something like that. Yes, there might be evil slavers.
Is that how Kayleth feels, though, about them having a bunch of bodies?
Look, just because she has an interest in the dead doesn't mean she approves of slavery.
Okay.
Two completely separate issues here.
Yeah.
It
They were
should be
dead
noted.
bodies, though, right?
It should be noted that
Well,
slavery is technically illegal in Westgate. Technically.
So the thing with the bodies was it was crates full of bodies.
Right.
Some were
But
alive.
clearly
They might,
had
they
been
might not have
slaves that
been,
had been-
they might not have been dead when they were first put in the crates.
And there were
Okay.
3 or 4 living people that we rescued from those things. But it
Well,
also
this does not sound like a nice family.
no. We formed opinions, possibly unfounded.
No, I'd say they're very founded.
Yeah, very founded.
They're very infounded? I don't know. What would be the...
Oh, don't they have they have vampires working for them too?
The word would be unfounded, Aiden points out. He's been very quiet and just kind of standing there.
No, I think like the opposite of unfounded, but like stronger than founded. Like, ooh, founded? No.
Uber founded?
Uber founded.
Uber founded?
Yeah, but one of the lieutenants that we fought of theirs was a vampire, I believe.
That's right. That's right.
Aha!
Aiden
was
perks
no
up.
many sense.
He says, a vampire?
I knew it!
Do you want to come with us?
No, I'm not necessarily.
Are you sure?
I have another lecture to give this evening.
Yeah, would you rather give a lecture or go meet a vampire, possibly?
Spend time with moneyed fuddy-duddies? No, I will definitely prefer to give a lecture. Oh, but don't take it that way. I mean, I'd like to spend time with you. I mean, maybe
No.
they
Chicken
could go.
wings.
Maybe they could go call upon Castle Vamos, and you could come to my next lecture, and maybe we could have dinner or something.
That sounds very lovely, but
Charisma 10.
Rogar encourages
gotta
her
earn
to
that
do
money.
Oh, of course.
Maybe you can be a good influence on this lad. I think he might
Maybe
be. Rogar doesn't know.
maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, actually, why don't you join us tomorrow morning at the Crimson Kiss?
Oh, of course, yes. He seemed real enthusiastic.
Good move.
Certainly, I will see you then.
All right.
Then Stirge has some contacts that he's developed. Some of them in the Vamos servant ranks.
Okay.
So perhaps he can make some inquiries and find out whether we might, what the best approach would be to getting into the Vamos crypts, and where the Vamos crypts are. Maybe they're on the grounds somewhere.
You didn't think that if we offered to help solve the murder of one of their own, that they might let us?
Maybe, but
How
they're
about-
very secretive.
Okay.
We could split it. Some of us try the frontal approach. Some of us try and sneak in.
Aye.
So we'll cut to Stirge having a drink with one of his contacts at Big Edna's, which is your
Oh, I love
favorite
Big
eatery. Yeah. And the rest of you are sitting at a table nearby eating.
Eavesdropping.
Everyone's got to eat.
It's run by a dwarf.
Inconspicuously.
So Stirge never meets with his contacts in his own form. He uses disguise self, and
He's very secretive.
yeah, none of his contacts know him as Stirge. So
What do you disguise yourself as?
this one is he disguises himself as Master Capstan, who is a busy trader on the wharfs who likes to keep his eyes on the doings of the great families, you know.
Yeah,
That's
this
what
is
I
a-
am.
This is a portside bar, like with
Yes,
all the,
yes,
it's
yes.
a bunch of roughs and sailors and that kind of thing.
Yeah, mostly working people.
Yeah.
Very few moneyed noble types.
Who is Master Capstan meeting with?
You can tell me who your contact is.
Well,
It's a servant at House Vamos.
with gambling debts, I'm afraid. She has a bad gambling problem. Well, Master Capstan can take care of that and does regularly. In exchange for information. She's very forthcoming.
Okay. So she says, all right, what exactly do you need? I do know that they have the body of one of their heirs who died under mysterious circumstances, who is currently in the crypt. They have refused the Town Watch's request and the Eye of Justice's request to inspect the body.
Quite right, quite right. Tragic indeed. The crypt,
If you say so.
the crypt is in the basement? I mean, or is it on the grounds? I forget. I try to remember these things. I used to know these things, but
It is on the grounds of Castle Vamos. It is in the courtyard. In fact, it's very unsettling. You have to walk past that to get to the kitchens every morning.
you mean it's in the middle of the middle of the complex?
That's very, very odd, but yes.
Okay.
Let me make sure I understand you. Squarish building with an open courtyard in the middle with a crypt in the middle of that.
Yes, mausoleum, in fact, and crypt underneath it. I have never been into the crypt.
I see. And
If you've never been inside Castle Vamos, it has a very sort of dark air to it. It just feels like someone's watching you whenever you go through the halls. It's very, very unpleasant.
So when they have gatherings and parties and so on, they just do it right around this crypt mausoleum?
Yes, I think it makes them happy to make people uncomfortable.
I see. When's the next one of these parties?
At least a 10-day from now.
I see.
I think, the Lady Vamos has decreed that her house is in mourning for her grandson.
Of course it is. Tragic.
And any revelry is off the table until that period of mourning is finished.
And of course they have the crypt guarded at all times.
Not by guards, if that's what you're asking, but probably by magical guardians. They are a wealthy family.
Yes, of course.
I do know a scullery maid who came too close to the crypt one time out of interest or curiosity, perhaps for something like this, and was frightened by something moving within the mausoleum.
Within
The locked mausoleum.
So this would be very difficult for someone to who wished to solve the murder, in spite of the family. In spite of the family,
I didn't say anything about any murder.
No. Yes. Well, let's just say for a moment that there was a murder, and that people wish to prove innocence of and get justice for the murder.
Okay. If there's coin in it, I suppose that's reasonable.
There is coin, of course.
Very neutral.
How would
response.
someone get in there? That would be very difficult, wouldn't it? Just to get into the
into the mausoleum.
And the courtyard, of course.
Well, I suppose you could come in through the servants' entrance if. Yeah, I could make that happen.
That would be excellent.
You're going to need to pay off a great deal of my debts, though. This is a big risk that I'd be taking.
Of course.
I'm just picturing Rogar like in his plate mail and everything with like a maid uniform pulled over the top of it, trying to be like, oh yes.
No, we'd put him in a serving cart under the.
Oh, yeah. He's under the big silver dish.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Rolling in, yeah.
You just bake a really big cake.
Right. Well, yeah.
Okay. Tell me about this.
Yeah, so she gives you a means to get into the mausoleum if that's really what you want to do.
Yes, it is.
And she suggests that you schedule it for several days hence when the guard is least.
Oh, right. Well,
She can't get it done that night. She could maybe get it done the following day.
next. Okay. What time?
That's the earliest she could do it. Midnight, obviously.
Midnight. Of course. Where do we meet you?
By the bridge over the River Thun. I'll meet you there. Bring whoever you wish to come with you.
Very well. We'll see you there. And these debts of yours.
Yes.
Will you hand me some details on that? Names.
She gives you a bunch of scraps of paper. A lot of them are wagers that she's placed against the Smashing Basher in the arena.
You never wager against the Smashing Basher, which is my secret arena handle.
Maybe Stirge is like, well, you shouldn't have bet against the Smashing Basher. And she says, well, I know that now. I've been betting on him, but it hasn't paid off the debts.
Very well.
I'm hoping that the Black Scorpion will take him apart when they inevitably fight.
Yeah, right. I actually cast a message spell and whisper that to Stirge. Psst, yeah, right.
Stong and I are over in the corner. I've pulled him aside to introduce him to Dwarven Ale because I think he's probably the only person of my friends who can handle it.
Make a
I'm excited
Constitution
to
saving throw.
And
Not you, you're fine.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, not Rogar.
Oh.
Stong, yes.
10.
It's real strong.
I ate with several cups, and this is the good stuff, right?
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, it reminds me
It's
of
so
home.
good.
I missed it so much.
Is Mirabelle
You
forward?
so much.
Mirabelle is like reaching for the tankard, but she can't quite reach it. She's, every time
I dip
Stong
a finger
leans a
in
little bit forward, she's like,
Oh, this is how we treat our parents. We just, a little finger.
Oh.
you give her a little finger of
Aye, the dwarven
the
ale.
dwarven ale. And she goes,
No. You shouldn't do that.
and then she just starts snoring.
sorry.
I always grab the tankard, before she could get to it, and then I just drink it.
It'll make her beard grow. Trust me.
Like the whole time that conspiracy scene is unfolding, Mirabelle just keeps reaching for the tankard, and Stong just keeps coincidentally picking it up right when she's about to get to it.
Aye.
And Rogar is giving her little finger droppers full.
Yes.
No,
right.
stop that, Rogar.
All right, so it is now midnight.
Of the next day?
No, of the same day.
Of the same day.
You finished your discussion with the servant.
Yeah.
You were really tired. It's been a long day. Mm-hmm. What do you want to do?
Let's go out and patrol, guys.
I've got to sleep.
I'm going to drop Mirabelle home, and then I'll tell them that I'll meet them.
I'm going to... What, are you going to stay up all night?
I mean, if it's to prevent a murder, yeah.
We got to get up in the morning and meet Shiny Man.
I mean, I think it's
Rogar
fine.
blushes a little when you mention it.
I could be a little tired.
He was definitely into Rogar. It's very clear.
So...
So there's dwarven ale. Is there dwarven coffee?
Oh.
Ooh, good question.
Coffee is indeed an import that you can get in Westgate. It comes from Ch02, and dwarves aren't necessarily the ones that brew it, I don't think. So no, there isn't dwarven coffee.
Why would you need dwarven coffee?
To counteract the ale?
Why would you waste good dwarven ale like that for?
So you could see and speak and hear.
I can see and speak and hear just fine.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah!
I'm gonna need both of you to make Constitution
Oh,
saves.
God.
Rogar, you have advantage because you're a dwarf.
17.
Poison.
Oh, 19, I don't know.
Oh yeah, they're drinking long into the
17.
night, and they're doing fine.
All right. So the way this would work is we stay up all night,
Aye.
then we sleep all day, and then we get up at midnight and go to meet my contact, which I guess would work. But what are the chances our patrol is gonna, I mean, there's City Watch that had patrols and they didn't encounter. I think I'm gonna stay with Lady Kiko.
Protector? I think that's wise.
I don't want this guy to come back and finish the job. I don't know if he's got any kind of, I don't know.
I mean, could we patrol separately, and then is there some sort of signal that we can give each other if we, stumble on something?
Maybe we could project on the clouds.
Oh, some sort of animal image. Oh, what kind of animal would be good? Like a nocturnal animal?
Wings. Wings is a good idea.
Ooh, wings. Yeah.
Or a skull
Oh, okay.
with snakes going through the eyes, right? Wait.
To represent how untrustworthy this whole situation.
Or how
Never
about just like a
mind.
giant arrow pointing at where we are, like, right in Westgate?
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. That's good. I mean, I don't know if we should split up the group, but
So who actually knows a spell to project something like that into the sky?
Stong just like hides his face
I
sheepishly.
think, Stirge, you're always making flashy color things.
yeah, it's not going to work that way.
All right, so you two are drinking late into the night. You are
Solo patrolling.
solo patrolling.
Real motivated to earn that
Nice,
money.
Nice.
And
That's a real good idea.
we were supposed to meet
Stirge.
Shiny in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the Crimson Kiss.
Red Aghast. Yes.
Oh, yeah, we can't call him Shiny.
Not Shiny, because Shiny is Stong's hetero life partner.
Right.
Kayleth, can I convince you to stay with Lady Kiko with me? It's the best lead we have. I mean, chances of this person coming back to assault Lady Kiko again to finish whatever, I think are better than you stumbling upon randomly.
But if we split our efforts, then we can do both. If both of us stay with Lady Kiko, we only get the benefits of that avenue.
Yes, but I don't know that I can take him alone.
So are you going to head out alone into the snowy street?
You're awfully squishy. I hate to tell you this, but
Maybe she'll take Dumpling with her.
No.
So you're going to ride your horse through the snowy streets after dark in Westgate.
this is a bad idea.
Does Lady Kiko have a pull-out bed?
Yes.
Like the people at Big Edna's, most of them who are going to leave left before the dark settled, and now they've closed all the doors and windows. And at some point, a server comes over to you discreetly and says, "So, are you planning to stay here? Because after dark, you know, it's Westgate, and the night is dangerous. It's full of terrors."
That night is very dangerous. Did you see his arms? He's so strong.
Yes.
Well,
So strong.
let's
And
take
remember,
these guys.
Big Edna's is literally across the street from the tall house in which Stong, Shiny, and Lady Kiko live.
Perfect. We're gonna.
Hey, I think Stirge was saying he has more dwarven ale at his place.
Oh,
And it's free.
That's good.
That's
We
happy
are
with my
friends, Sturge.
Best friends.
we love our
Share.
friends.
I've got this. All right, we get him up to Stong's place. I can prestidigitate something to flavor it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to take whatever Schlitz or Pabst or Schmitty's or whatever he's
Yeah,
got.
you do have some very low tier ale or spirits.
I'm just going to turn that right into some dwarven grog for them and
Excellent.
let them believe that they're drinking the best possible dwarven ale.
All right. So
Ale, drink.
so you're heading across the street, and the snow is deep. The drifts are almost covering the dwarf here, and one of you, it's going to be Kayleth. So Stirge is talking to them about things to drink, and I have more drinks at my place or at Lady Kiko's place, which we're going to protect her. And Kayleth happens to glance up, and you see a figure running along the rooftop above you. All right, you look, you don't see anybody. Like it was just a brief glimpse.
On the tall house?
No, on the eatery that you just left.
Big Edna's?
Big Edna's, yeah.
Oh, let's look. Something's on the roof. Guys, roof scan.
Yeah, maybe it's time for Kayleth to fly up there and see.
So what is this Big Edna's made of? Like stone, maybe?
It is a wooden building.
Oh. With handholds?
Yeah, you could climb it.
She climbs.
Okay, make an athletics check, please.
Look at her flying with her hands.
Oh, what an angel.
That is going to be an 8.
It is slippery and difficult, and you slide back down.
Okay. Sturge is going to steady himself against a wall, summon his owl,
Okay, your owl appears.
and concentrating to see out of its eyes, send it up to go to scan that roof.
So the owl is his familiar. So the owl flies up.
Tiny little owl. Just a elf owl. They're
To
called.
go look around the rooftop.
Scan the roof, the whole block.
Okay, make a perception check for the owl, please.
Well, is it my perception or its?
Its perception.
Well, I rolled the natural 10.
Okay.
I think
natural
I'm,
10.
Natural 10, not a modified 10?
That's
correct. Amazing.
You know what? I think I'm going to just use this. Psst. This,
Oh, okay.
because I want to see.
He's
roll
using
again.
inspiration.
Yes, inspiration from last time. I forget what I won it for, but I'll give it back to
Good
you.
role playing, I'm sure.
Yes, probably.
Someone can eat
Good
it.
role
as
playing
a
about being a
chocolate.
unit.
Much better. That's a
jiggle,
natural.
The Jiggle song reinterpretation.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, it was probably that.
19.
19. All right, hold on.
Very good night vision. very strong visual acuity.
Okay. Your owl does indeed pick up a figure lurking on the rooftop.
Which rooftop?
A big Edna's.
Edna's?
Yeah.
What's it doing?
Well, currently it seems to be trying to hide from the owl, but failing.
Is it on the far side of the roof?
Lightning has illuminated the figure standing there against a planter box.
Convenient lightning.
And you can see through the owl's eyes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the person has dark skin and very gray eyes. And you can see that he is definitely a man. Palms a throwing dagger and then hurls it at your owl.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Archie.
okay, the owl dodges out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
The dagger does not hit it, but then the figure takes off running again.
Mm-hmm.
Which direction?
To the north.
I'm going to say all this out loud. I'm going to say
Oh, yeah, I
dark figure, rooftop running north. And I'm just going to walk in that direction and continue to, he's going to just hold on to Kayleth, and because he has to keep his eyes closed and look through the eyes of the owl. Walk me north, he says. And
Do you do that?
I'm going to keep.
She's gonna go at a slightly faster pace than a walk.
Okay.
She's
All right.
practically pulling you along.
So the figure,
her
the man,
abysmal strength.
runs along the rooftop and leaps from Big Edna's onto the next building, which is a significant leap. Like it's a 20-foot long leap, and he makes it seemingly without much difficulty.
So the owl's going to stay way high at the very edge of its own dark vision, which is going to be pretty hard to throw a dagger well. It's not going to be as easy, and from behind, so it's invisible. I think its vision is much farther than most dark vision.
Okay, I get it.
Okay.
So the owl is following him.
Yeah.
Can Kayleth see this person?
No,
No. Okay.
Was their hair visible?
no, cloak, hood,
Cloak, but gray eyes flashed.
All right. She's gonna try
like
something.
almost blind looking.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Kayleth's gonna try something. She's gonna abandon Stirge, take off running,
Okay.
try and get to a place where she can see the figure running along the roof.
Okay, make a perception check.
Rogar was like, I think they're doing that trust exercise they used to do when I was a kid. Like
16.
you just bleed someone blind.
Actually, 19.
19.
Just
Okay.
there, like, carouse.
You
Yeah.
do catch sight of the figure at the corner of one of the buildings.
Hold person.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. What sort of saving throw am I rolling here?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. All right.
What's your DC?
15.
Okay.
Or the.
Power flows out of you and dissipates around the hooded figure. And in fact, you see kind of a flash of silvery, like a shield around the figure, and the magic dissipates.
Well, that's
And then he
interesting.
turns away and disappears into the dark.
Agnes, was he wearing an oiled black cloak?
With a patch missing.
It's more of a dark gray cloak.
Okay.
I should point out, not all hooded figures are the same person, particularly in Westgate.
This one was
Right.
acting so suspiciously, and it was on a roof, and there was the lightning flash.
Yeah.
Not all hooded figures acting suspiciously on rooftops in Westgate are the same person. But
Dramatic lightning
Not all
flash.
sure,
Batman.
okay. Do you continue searching for this person?
Yes.
Okay. You spend some time searching. Eventually, one of you manages to climb up on the rooftop, probably Stirge,
Okay.
and the owl loses track of this of the man, and the rest of you don't find him. He just disappeared.
Footprints in the snow.
There are footprints in the snow.
Do they match the footprint found at Lady Kiko's?
They are booted footprints of about a medium-sized human foot.
Wider than mine?
Wider than yours. Well, a lot of footprints are wider than yours. Your feet are very slender.
Yes, but like we said, these are all consistent with,
Okay. And now you're exhausted and you're wet and you're freezing because you've been out in the snow
all right.
Oh yeah,
all night. It's like 4 a.m. now.
what happened to Rogar and Stong in the meantime?
Carouse, 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 carouse.
Yeah, they've been drinking in the tall house.
Drink, drink, drink.
The finest dwarven ale.
You get back to Stong's apartment,
Think dwarven ale.
and they are singing that song, and they are drinking hard.
I've put Mirabelle to bed. You don't see her again.
Yep.
Radagast,
In fact,
he has such a shapely helmet and drink, 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 dwarven ale.
Nala, a very exhausted Nala, comes to you and says, "Please do something. Do you have magic? Can you put them to sleep or something?"
Only if they've beaten each other into low hit points.
I can.
Nala says, "Hold on," and she comes back with this big mace.
No.
She says, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, let's
Okay.
just put them in their beds and tell them they need to go to bed.
All right. Eventually, they go to bed. You go to sleep. Kayleth is fine because Kayleth only has to trance for 4 hours. But you all stay at the tall house?
Yeah.
Okay. Lady Kiko is there, and at one point she comes out of her room in her nightgown and sits next to Stirge and says, "I'm grateful that you're here. I feel safer with you here."
That's why we're here.
And she pats him on the arm, and then they sit there in companionable silence for a while. Okay. So, the following morning, Stirge is a little bit tired because you were up really late. Kayleth, this is fine because elves are the superior sleepers, trancers, etc. You two are hungover as the hells.
Kayleth is gonna burst in their room. Good morning.
I didn't say anything embarrassing last night, did I?
You said a lot of embarrassing things. It was great. Want some more dwarven ale?
Aye. Sure. Oh, thank you. Hair of the displacer beast that picked you.
Okay. So, you finally get going, and you're a little late to meet with Radagast at the Crimson Kiss. Assuming that you're actually doing that. You're actually doing that? Okay.
Yeah. Any Stirge is gonna take a quick walk around, and on the way to the Crimson Kiss, he'll meet everyone there, and he's gonna take on his captain or master capstan and go and talk to a few people for any word, any news from the night.
Okay.
Basically, he wants to find out if somebody got murdered.
Make a charisma investigation check.
It's a 9. Is that a 9? It's an 8.
So your charisma modifier, and if you're trained in investigation, also your proficiency modifier.
Math.
It's I can't. For some reason, I didn't write down that one thing, but he is proficient in it, so that would be 3.
Your proficiency modifier at this point is 3, right? 3?
3, and he's got a charisma, so that's 5. So it's a 14.
Is he is trained in investigation. Okay, so you got a 14. Okay, and what were you trying to figure out?
If anybody got murdered.
If anybody got murdered.
Yeah.
No word of any murder.
Okay. Nothing flashy.
I mean, it is Westgate.
It's Westgate.
Okay,
So
there have been murders, but not a kiss of death murder that anyone knows about.
Is that sort of a thing people know about the kiss of death murder?
Yes, now they are talking about it.
Okay.
And people are talking about it being Shadow Fox, another Reed's assassin.
Yeah.
Assassin working for the Shades. They're trying to take over the Dragon Coast. Once again, the Archwizards are returning. Again.
Okay.
Rumors.
Yeah, lots of rumors all going around. Okay, so you're at the Crimson Kiss. It's really nice, and they're really nice and very welcoming. You show up and you're hungover, and they offer you blankets and tea, and they do dances, and they're painting, and
Guessing lots of red velvet. And
yeah, it's very sensual and relaxed. Incense. You could go into the lotus room if you want to.
No, I want to talk to what's his face.
Okay, okay. We heard that you like hallucinogenics.
Interesting.
We have a mutual friend.
Not today, thank you.
Of course. You're busy.
Radagast, breakfast.
Radagast. The woman server looks confused, and the male server's like, does he mean Radagast Hawkwinter?
Yes.
Oh, of course. Yes, the handsome ginger, right. I haven't seen him today.
Ooh.
Rogar's been hanging
Well.
back, but when he hears that, he was kind of like hiding behind the rest of the group, in fact. But when he hears that, he steps forward. What? Well,
Yeah, not worried at all.
was there any word from him?
No, was he supposed to meet you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
At that moment, the door opens, and another attendant, like an acolyte, a young priest of one of the deities worshipped at the Crimson Kiss, comes running in, obviously a little frazzled and upset, and whispers something to the mistress of the fest hall,
Always a good sign.
who frowns and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to need to close very soon. If you could just collect your things and be on your way."
Sturge's gonna hide.
Why are you closing?
And the little girl starts crying, and then the
no.
mistress says, it's just too horrible. I can't. You're adventurers, right?
Aye.
Maybe you can help. She points kind of a trembling hand up to the stairs.
Go upstairs.
Okay, there are a bunch of attendants kind of crowded around one of the rooms upstairs, looking in to the door.
Just kind of.
We're
Try and
fully
push it.
chartered Westgate Irregulars. We're here to help.
Oh, good. They defer to you. They're like, oh yes, that sounds good. That sounds good. You step into the room. It's red silks, and it seems comfortable, but also cold, and empty when you go in.
What do we see?
Yeah, what do we
Well,
see?
when you open up there are a couple of people standing there next to the curtains. There's red curtains over the window, and when you pull the curtains back, you see Radagast Hawkwinter lying covered in blood on the balcony
For a second
with a
there,
big black kiss on his forehead.
For a second there, I was hoping he would just be like completely fine, just there like eating breakfast and also hungover or something.
Oh, hey guys. No, you
No.
found his very dead body. And with that, that's all the time we have for today. Tune in next week to find out the many, many consequences of this particular murder. Who's to blame? Upon whom does suspicion fall? What happens with escalating rumors? Will Aiden show up, and will he be as suspicious as usual?
It's never suspicious.
And who was that mysterious cloaked figure running along the rooftop? It was not the same mysterious cloaked figure running along the rooftop in a previous scene. Come back to find out more in next week's episode. Thank you to my players, the Dungeon Scrawlers. Thank you to Gen Con for hosting us at the wonderful Chaldea Studios. Thank you to Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms for sponsoring us. Check out that game. It's real fun. We'll have more codes for you in the future sessions. Thank you to you, audience. Without you, we're just a bunch of people sitting around a table. That's it. We'll see you next week. Bye.